It is 10:01. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint, Kentucky Downs, 104.5 The Zone studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. The Titans' 2026 schedule is out, and for the second consecutive season, they will not play in primetime, opening up with the Jets and Eagles at home in weeks 1 and 2, respectively, before hitting the road to the Giants in week 3 and the Ravens in week 4. Week 9 is the bye week. The Titans will close out the season at the Houston Texans. Stanley Cup playoffs, the Canadians outscored the Sabres 6-3 to take a 3-2 series lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals. In the West, the Golden Knights routed the Ducks to take Game 6 and move on to the Western Conference Finals, where they will face the Avalanche. NBA playoff action tonight. The Pistons and Cavs tip off at 6 in the East. Cleveland leads at 3-2. And in the Western Conference semifinals, Spurs and T-Wolves tipping off at 8:30. San Antonio can close out the series with a win. Nashville Soccer Club returns to Geodis Park Sunday night, hosting LAFC. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Pregame coverage on The Zone starts at 6:30. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning. You got your schedule. Got everything figured out for the upcoming football season except for Week 18, which is always a wait-and-see proposition. We're going to talk about it. Every team did their schedule release video. A lot of people seem to like the Titans. We can talk about all of these things throughout the course of today's show. Hope you're having a great start to your Friday. Get you a little closer to the weekend throughout the course of the next 3 hours. Lucas, Robert, and me. We will have Greg Cosell at 11:20. For those of you who are asking me about this week's install, Greg thought it would be better to wait until we had actual football games on a schedule to talk about. So we'll do that live with Cosell at 11:20 today. Good morning.
Hello.
How are we?
Good morning. Excellent.
Morale high?
Something like that.
Okay. Why?
Yeah, it's a good Friday,
You
man.
didn't like I thought you liked your Ravens schedule.
I did.
You picked like 17 games that you were going to go to.
Not 17.
I think you said you were going to go to every Ravens game this year.
I wish. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs. There would be signs.
Yeah, it would be you drunk on television at every Ravens game.
I'd be front and center.
Would you still be here?
They'd call me Ravens Robert. I'd definitely do the show sometimes.
You're the only one that doesn't want to do anything if they hit it big.
You'd never see me again.
The most people would just get bored with just having no purpose in life. There is some
who
benefit.
says I wouldn't have purpose in life?
I think
I'd go see the world. That would be my purpose in life. Are you kidding me?
You'd be sitting your ass on a beach. It'd probably be the same beach. I think you'd be too bothered by a certain point from the actual act of traveling to any place other than the place where you have family, allegedly.
Oh, you underestimate me. I'd be drinking a spritz on a square immediately.
A spritz on a square.
Well, where he recently turned me back
like
on
a mouse in a house.
to Aperol Spritz. I was out on them. I thought they were gross.
Where did we have one recently that I thought was pretty good? You got
Mothers.
one? Mothers. Yeah. It's I don't like them if they're too sweet.
I'm a big spritz guy.
I feel like Aperol Spritz a good summer cocktail.
Yeah, it's hard to be upset on a Friday. We got a spritz of the schedule. We got a spritz of new music from Drake. I don't know why the hell you would ever drop 3 albums at one time, but I'm not Drake.
Did you see that this morning? He dropped 3 new albums. I am also halfway through the first of them, Iceman. So I guess he said, you know what, I'm just going to drown Kendrick in volume. There's just going to be so many songs you don't know what to do with yourself. Not that impressed with Iceman so far.
It's okay.
It's. I asked you what was the early one that came out about our sophomore year in college, Marvin's Room.
Marvin's Room
Reminds me of kind of a knockoff Marvin's Room. Marvin's Room though made you feel things. This one's just kind of like, all right, sad Drake.
Yeah, the intro had me going. I was like, oh, okay, he's really gonna give it to us. And then it kind of just slow played through it. I'll finish him. I got a long drive ahead of me going back to North Carolina. I'll listen to all 3.
Are you going home this weekend?
Yeah, going to see my daddy. See old Papa. What he's doing.
Fun.
Try to get him to give me some money for these Ravens games.
Ooh, come back with some meats.
Yeah, what you want? Deer? cow,
whatever you
pig,
got.
goat, squirrel, rabbit,
I mean,
crow.
are you bringing back venison? Oh, I've never had crow.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
Greasy
Trash
bird. greasy
Well, it's
bird.
like duck, right? Like
not
duck
even
is
close.
good.
Duck
I
is really
No,
good.
duck is phenomenal.
What's a goose? Goose is super greasy.
Goose is very greasy.
Not really about that. So I think most people are probably hyperfixated, or there's probably at least a component of the fan base that's hyperfixated on no primetime games. You guys guessed 1, I guess 0. It would be an anomaly.
Don't hurt yourself.
I tried to not have back-to-back primetime games, but this is a new world order in terms of the NFL network and broadcast rights. So not NFL Network, but the broadcast rights for NFL games. And the broadcast partners are telling you, no, we don't want to pay $80 million for a Titans game. So we will relegate them to the noon slate, and they will have 2 3:05 kickoffs, one in Week 12 against the Jags, one in Week 16, I think is that Raiders game at Vegas. And so, that's probably the thing that I think most Titans fans had the immediate reaction to. Other than that, though, I think that it's a pretty nice schedule. I mean, provided that, like, these teams on a fourth place schedule don't turn into world beaters the way that they did last year on a fourth place schedule. And that was more about the divisions that they drew, right? They had the NFC West, they had the AFC West. They're going to get their heads clubbed in no matter what. But this year, they don't have to travel a whole bunch. San Francisco, for the preseason game, is actually the furthest distance that they will travel this season. And that's the first preseason game of the year. The second furthest distance is Vegas. They'll go back to Vegas this year to take on I'm calling them my Raiders now with Fernando Mendoza. And other than that, you're pretty close to home. You got back-to-back home games to open the season. Your last game at Nissan Stadium is a Week 17 noon kickoff against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that is pretty much the highlights of the stadium.
Original AFC Central opponent. So a little bit of a poetic finish there to Nissan Stadium. Jonathan Jones of CBS yesterday on Twitter said, I'm being 100% serious when I say no team has a better schedule than the Tennessee Titans. They get a full week of rest before each game, a bye week in the middle of the season, week 9, all but one game played in or within a 1 hour of their time zone.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you had to try and placate them, because I'm sure they're not happy about I know they're not happy about not having a single primetime game. I mean, do you care? Do you have an outsized level of opinion about it? Would it have just been a nice thing for you as a Titans fan?
I don't know why I'm surprised, but I didn't think they would go back-to-back. They joined the Raiders, Cardinals, Jets, and Dolphins as the teams that currently do not have primetime games. By the way, how bad do the Jets have to be to not get a primetime game?
Well, that's real.
Like,
Jets
that's
and
telling.
Dolphins. Jets, and frankly,
And
Raiders.
Dolphins.
Raiders are a big-ass fan base, too. Like, you've got to really suck out loud.
Yeah.
To be one of those teams. I honestly think if I was a Jets, Dolphins, or Raiders fan, I would be more upset about that idea because the Titans, you understand, Titans the smallest fan base by a mile out of that group. Those are all, New York is the number one market in the country, right? It's not even close. Not just the NFL. It's the number one media market in the country. So one of those teams, no. We're good on the Geno Smith Aaron experience.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay. Thank you very much.
I wonder the last time the Jets did not have a primetime game.
I bet you have to go. I can probably look that up during the break.
And the Cardinals, none of us are surprised.
Jack says on YouTube, where you can live stream the show, Facebook. Yeah, the Cardinals, man. What are the Cardinals even doing this year? just get through it, right?
Do you guys want to guess when the last time the Jets had no primetime games?
Before we had, as many primetime windows as we do, certainly.
Was it pre or during or post Rex Ryan?
We were all in high school.
Oh, really?
So post Rex Ryan.
Buck and I may have been in middle school. Maybe pre-Rex Ryan.
That would have been for sure pre-Rex Ryan.
Okay, so what, like 05? No, you wouldn't have been in high school in 05.
2007.
Okay.
Yeah, none of us were in high school in 2007. I think I graduated from grade school. Do you graduate from grade school? Do you just leave grade school? Is it a graduation?
Yeah,
I feel like we had a graduation situation.
That was 2 years before Rex Ryan took over.
I think middle schools have graduation.
Okay. So middle school. You and me were in middle school. We would have all been in middle school. The last time the Jets had no primetime games. But this is, again, it's a sign for, it's more of a meritocracy than it's ever been, right? You have to earn the right to make a network that's paying all of this money to put you on primetime. It's no longer AFC's on CBS and NFC's on Fox. It's this whole new spectrum of Netflix and Prime, and we don't have an Apple TV package for the NFL yet. I'm sure at some point we will, but streamers getting into the game, right? It's now a bidding war for, I saw Jim Nantz kind of bemoaning the idea that CBS for the first time in 100 years will not have Bills Chiefs this year. So this is a new world order, and it really, really hurts a team like the Titans. And I think the Cardinals are in this category. If the Jags fall off, the Jags would be in this category too. Where, yeah, if you don't have the fan base that immediately makes you a draw, and even if you have the fan base that makes you a draw, Jets, Raiders, Dolphins, all massive fan bases. Even if they don't actually show up to games, there's a lot of Jets fans in the world. Dolphins were, for a period of time, regarded as one of the best and most winning organizations in all of sports. Raiders have been irrelevant for 20 years, other than like 2 Derek Carr seasons. It really feels like.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I don't really know what to do with Las Vegas. But yeah, you're going to have to force networks to put you on TV in primetime standalone windows if you're the Titans, and we can talk about the primetime stuff more later on. Beyond that, I wonder what people think is the toughest stretch of the Titans schedule, and we have polls out to that effect. You can vote on the polls, and we'll update them on the end of the show. Did you have any immediate takeaways from the schedule other than the two of you guessing that they would have a primetime game and not seeing a single primetime game?
Well, if you don't beat the Jets week 1, you are in danger of getting into an 0-2 hole early. You do host the Eagles, but the Eagles will come in with a significantly better roster than you in week 2 at Nissan Stadium. So you risk being 0-2 heading up to New York to take on what should be an improved Giants team, 2 second-year first-round pick quarterbacks. That week 1 game looks even more important to me after seeing the schedule play out and confirming that the Eagles are the week 2 opponent. But I don't know if there's like a murderer's row stretch. I don't really.
It's really either that first, I would say weeks 2 through 5 would be
Eagles, Giants, Ravens, Texans.
Right? Or if Detroit and Washington end up being good, you might say that the start of the second half of their schedule post week 9 bye, that could theoretically be where you see the Jags twice in, I think it's 3 weeks.
Yep. That always happens. I feel like that always happens. That wasn't the case last year, was it?
I don't think they had one last year. They had them condensed at the end of the year for sure.
I feel like the Titans always get one of those where 2 out of 3 weeks you're playing the same divisional opponent.
I think they like doing that as a whole in the NFL. If you look at the Ravens schedule, I think over 5 weeks, it's like Steelers, Bengals, Browns, someone, Steelers. Like they play the whole division in a month's time.
Yeah.
Robert, you are, what are we going to do, you and me, when we're both in Baltimore for week 4?
That's correct.
That's the Titans and the Ravens.
Week 4.
I really wish it would have been Derrick Henry coming to Nashville. That's the only really nitpicky thing that I would have about their schedule. I think it would have been cool.
We knew that already.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it would have been nice to have Derrick Henry in Nashville at Nissan Stadium one last time. I think it would have been a fun thing.
Oh, but we're going to have a fun time in Baltimore. We'll rent some scooters, hit the Dispo, go to Jimmy's Seafood, hit Horseshoe, play some second-level blackjack, go to the Jimmy's Seafood pregame tailgate.
We were debating this. Is it more fun, Lucas, if Robert comes into the press box with me or if I go and sit in the stands with Robert? Because I think it's going to be the opposite.
I'll let you answer that question. It's such an obvious answer.
Well, it depends. It depends if they're going to be mad at me for standing up again.
Baltimore's press conferences, or not press conference, press box is one of my favorite in the league because you're below suite level. So you're like in the lower bowl and fans are kind of like up against you. They start banging on a glass. After a while, Baltimore was not one of the trips you got.
No, I've never been to M&T Bank Stadium.
I love going to Baltimore. It's a great atmosphere always. I think the city's awesome. I mean, it's got bad parts like any other city. I mean, you go to the wrong places in Nashville, you get caught up. But I think Baltimore kind of gets a bad rap. So yeah, it's a schedule. You have a schedule, and I'm sure many of you are planning your away game trips if you make them, and certainly looking forward to getting football season underway. We'll continue to talk about all the elements of this throughout the course of the show. In fact, we will talk about the best schedule release videos and where the Titans ranked according to many of these rankings that have been produced. Coming up next. The Tennessee Men's Clinic here to help you if you're dealing with performance issues, if your energy's off, if things just aren't working like they used to. Happens to a lot of guys as you get up there in age. Easy for me to say. Your body starts to change. That's where the Tennessee Men's Clinic, powered by Men's Pro, comes into place. What you'll like about them is that they've been doing this for years. They're not just the newest fly-by-night place or sketchy online pill. You're working with true medical providers that run labs and will build a plan specifically around you, not some one-size-fits-all type of deal. They treat low performance, ED, weight loss, and even peptides like NAD+. Their treatments have worked for thousands of men, and most guys say they wish they would have come in sooner. Right now, your lab panel and consultation, just $99. So call them today at 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090, or visit them online and book in 30 seconds at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
So what garners more buzz after schedule release day? The actual substance of NFL schedules or the schedule release videos in which teams did the best job?
Oh.
Like what is legitimately
the schedule. The
talked
answer
about
is the
more?
schedule. The answer
I don't
is
know.
the schedule.
Because I see more content. I see more articles. I see more social media buzz, for what that's worth, about the content that social media teams put together.
Okay, look at today's radio show grid, Lucas. How many segments of today's radio show are dedicated to actual schedule conversation versus the schedule release?
All of them.
Yes, except for one.
Are dedicated to schedule release videos. That's all we're talking about for the entire show.
God, my hell.
So started from the top.
From the top. All right, alphabetically.
Oh, no.
Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, no.
We're going to play them for you.
Only on audio, though. We will give you no video.
That's right.
It will only be audio.
That's right. We are fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Would love to see a Hattie B's themed schedule release video.
Well, who's to say?
Who's to say? So, Robert posed this. Scott Hansen posed it. Robert brought it to our attention.
It's like Ross reporting things that other
Exactly.
people
Well, I
report.
told Scott. He hit me up, and I was like, hey, this would be a banger tweet.
Like
dude.
you feeding Brett Kern stats.
Yes.
All football season.
I am the brains. I am the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to him.
Scott
I've
Hansen
been trying for 4 years.
of NFL Red Zone tweeted yesterday, if I'm only going to watch 3 schedule release team videos, which 3 should I watch? And my first question is, should the Titans schedule release video, which again was very well done, patrolling the streets of Broadway and finding lookalikes to various NFL personalities and players. Some of them were funny and out of pocket. Some of them were kind of on the nose. Do the Titans belong in the top 3 of the schedule release videos across the NFL?
I would actually defer to you two on that because, like, my thing is they did a good job, right? It's fine, but it's the same thing that they've done for the past 2 years, in essence. Right, it's a Man on the Street Broadway themed schedule release video. Doesn't mean it's bad.
It's getting a lot of love.
Oh, sure. I think they do that well, and Broadway is very well equipped to find all kind of creatures that, the Myles Garrett one did make me laugh. This year, I just didn't move me one way or the other because they have done the same thing 3 times in a row, and that's fine if it works.
I mean, I think it's impressive to continue to do the Man on the Street Broadway thing and continue to find different spins on it. Like, I too, if I was presented this, would have been skeptical. Like, oh, they're just doing the Broadway thing again. But I was very pleasantly amused by it. Yes, I thought it was very funny. The British man that they approached that said looked like Jerry Jones made me laugh. The Myles Garrett one made me laugh. I'd encourage anybody to go watch it. The Athletic ranked the Titans video. They literally ranked them 1 through 32. And
whose job is that? That sucks.
who wrote the article? I don't know.
It was a tandem. I believe 2 people tag teamed it.
Buck, what would you guess they ranked the Titans out of 32?
Oh, I think I saw a lot of positive feedback, so I definitely say top 10.
2.
Oh, really?
They ranked it number 2.
Was it just a bad year?
No, there was a lot of creativity. I think because of how digestible it is, and it's not this like novel that you have to
think about
sit
a lot
through.
of.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to find all the references. Like the Chargers is fun with all the Easter eggs and all, but also, do you have 8 minutes to watch a team schedule that you don't really care about? Like, I'm sure they got ranked number 1 by a ton of people because they put a lot of effort into it, and they should. Before we move on off the Titans, though, I had one complaint. The guy that they said looked like C.J. Stroud looked way more like Jaden Daniels.
Dead ringer.
But they wanted to shoehorn this Will Compton thing in there so badly that they just picked a dude who had a similar hair to C.J. Stroud. That is my only complaint. He looked like Jaden Daniels. But I guess they couldn't fit Will Compton in anywhere else.
He did look like Jaden Daniels. He really did. But
I think Zach Lyons texted Zach, and I'm sure he'll talk about it. But he hated. I guess he was much tougher on the schedule release than I was.
I mean, Lucas said he enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. It was quaint. Yeah. I mean, and also as far as like resources allotted to something and getting a result, I think the ROI is incredible.
Oh, my goodness.
You are Max. There's no overhead.
100%.
Given his name's Troy. Do you guys know Troy? You might, because he did Nashville.
used to work for
I love
Nashville
that
SC.
Brad Pitt movie, though. I don't know who he is.
Yeah. Part of the excellent digital team over there in the Titans building.
He ain't drank with us at Combine. I don't know no Troy.
No, I guess Troy wasn't.
Troy was not in India.
Again, you have to stop disclosing people that you got drunk with or that you saw drunk at Combine.
No,
that's not
true.
how Combine works.
I will drop one every
true,
segment
Robert.
for the rest of the show.
You can say whatever you want about whoever you want.
I won't tell anyone what I saw in that bar.
Until Anthony Levine comes and finds you. And says, you said what?
My dude.
He's in Baltimore again.
Yeah, he's the special teams coordinator.
Nice.
He's the big dog, no longer the assistant.
He was here for a couple of years. So yeah, to your point, there is nothing less expensive than giving Troy a tiny mic and sending him out on the Broadway.
Yeah.
And I think I may have been mistaken, but it looked like he did some at the draft too in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't think they were all exclusive to Broadway.
That makes sense. Where they saw Miles and all the people in the jerseys.
Like the Joe Burrow thing,
Joe
I
Burrow.
thought was a draft one. Anyway, so yeah, ROI, you are correct. They are getting the most for putting in. I don't want to say the least, but you understand what I mean. Like having to expend the least amount of resource and effort and energy while still doing a good job.
Yeah, the Chargers, who were ranked number 1 by the Athletic, again, had this elaborate, like Robert said, over 8-minute long Halo schedule release video that was incredibly well done and detailed, and the Easter eggs were just all over the place. But there was a Simpsons one that a lot of teams put in a lot of effort. I do love the simplicity of what the Titans did. Here's what the Athletic wrote about it. The man on the street approach, if not done right, can look like a low-effort approach. However, the Titans nailed every part of it. They have plenty of individuals who sort of resemble the opposing team's characters, including Eagles security chief Big Dom, Cam Scadaboo for the Giants, and perhaps one of the best, Fernando Mendoza for the Raiders. They also had a few hilarious contrarian finds, such as someone who is simply wearing a Browns Myles Garrett jersey but has no resemblance. And the elderly-looking Jerry Jones find was great, especially as Jones is the owner of America's team, and the guy they found was from the UK, showing the Macaulay Culkin picture as the actual picture of Joe Burrow was a nice touch. All of that in under 2 minutes. Greatness, writes The Athletic.
Yeah, the brevity of it, right? The line is brevity is the soul of wit. Yeah, there's a lot to like about the simplicity of the schedule release that the Titans did. Now, I will say that at a certain point, we're going to run out of ideas for this. Like I told you two on the phone this morning that I feel like this is kind of going to go at some point. Maybe not in the next 5 years. Maybe
When did this start being a big deal?
10, I would say 5 years ago.
Yeah, within the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's a more recent novelty type of situation. Where we just go the way of the dunk contest where people just run out of ideas. And maybe everybody, maybe one a year really, really pops. But beyond that, I think there's really only so many ways that you can do something like this. And maybe that's just me being small-minded because I'm certainly not a creative type the way that these people are. But yeah, I think at a certain point it's just like, okay, the schedule release video is just something that you do.
Now, what about the worst one? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Real quick.
Cardinals. It's not even close. They have to be ranked 32nd. Did you guys see the Cardinals?
Was it like it was the
AI slop. They literally they had their mascot sit in like
a Zoom meeting.
Sit in a Zoom meeting with other AI created things. Like, you want to talk about low effort, low energy. I saw all the comments for only the Cardinals. The Cardinals were the only ones that I felt like were getting genuinely ripped, and not by external forces. Nobody really cared about the Cardinals. But their own fan base. Just peppering.
Yeah. It did get ranked last
people.
here. Second to last was the Ravens.
Incredibly lazy.
Yeah.
Incredibly lazy. Okay. They, I guess, got a message from one of their fans and invited the Ravens to their wedding. So the Ravens decided to crash it. And originally I thought it was going to be like, the Wedding Crashers. Like they'll do like the shout and like do like the Wedding Crashers intro. But it was just super lazy. Zay Flowers crashes a wedding, presents them with a jersey, and they're like partying. And as they're partying, the credits roll, and the credits is the schedule. Yeah. It was incredibly lazy.
It was literally just footage of Zay Flowers at this wedding, and then just the credit roll. Here's the schedule. And just someone said, just slap the schedule on the end of Zay Flowers going to someone's wedding.
Didn't they go crazy with it last year? Weren't they the Severance one last year?
They did a Severance one.
They probably blew their budget for 2 years. Like, all right, we gotta keep it simple this year, boys.
Now, the question that everybody was asking was, will anybody poke fun at the Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini situation? One team did, that being the Los Angeles Chargers, very subtly poking fun. So they did a very elaborate, long, Halo-themed schedule release video Robert, who's fielding a phone call, would be able to explain this much better than I would, but it's just various different Halo scenarios and things that you do in the video game. One of them, like the racing thing when you're on the Warthogs and you're racing on this track that's in space, and the track is going through various checkpoints. And the checkpoints, when they get to the Patriots game, says, it's like regular season, wild card round. Oh, Robert, what was the diameter? Oh, and then it says there's a billboard that says next photo dump 1 mile. And it just keeps going. That was very subtle.
You were getting invites from what's the newspaper that put the initial report out?
New York Post.
Yeah, so it was like a New York Post to send you a message or something like that.
New York
Very
Post.
subtle.
So that one, and then they used the Diana playlist, the Spotify playlist.
Oh,
I missed that.
Yeah, they did work the playlist in. Chargers played scared on that. I thought relative to expectation, and I don't know what we really expected NFL teams to do because, again, the league said that they were going to leave it up to teams' judgment, which means that teams were going to, I think, approach this with additional caution than they might otherwise. Because if the league greenlights it, then you're like, all right, great, we don't have to worry about it. But then you're kind of like, oh my God, is the league going to crack down on us, or is the league going to come after us if we blow this up in too big a way? So I felt the Chargers played a little scared on that. I still would include them. Because did you see what they did? They dubbed over interactions that like Herbert had with Bo Nix, where they're talking to each other post game. They got some blowback, I think, from Broncos fans about that they threw one of those like sticky grenades that they have in Halo onto the Bo Nix character's ankle, and they blew up his ankle.
Oh yeah, and then Stiddy Up had to come in and replace him.
Yeah. So I don't know, there was that inflammatory. Apparently, there was a contingent of Broncos fans that were bothered by that. Whatever.
Vikings were good too.
I didn't see the Vikings. I did see the Chargers. I like the Chargers. Did you guys see the Rams?
The Rams was incredible.
Now, maybe this is just a generational thing, okay? Because the Rams were my favorite one. But they did the Napoleon Dynamite intro like it wouldn't be intro credits. What do you call?
Yeah, intro. They do it on some movies. Like, what's the dadgummit? If you wouldn't have asked me, the Grand Budapest Hotel, movies like that. They'll put the credits at the beginning.
It used to be the norm, right? Like in the old days, every movie would have like westerns, like the entire roll of credits would happen in the beginning.
So to me, and again, this plays into a very specific demographic, I feel, but the Napoleon Dynamite theme with the Jack White, I can tell that we are going to be friends music. Like, I love that whole thing. They're just taking away plates and putting plates down relative to different markets. It was really well done.
Did you see Ari Myrov's tweet? Oh, I got to pull it up to read it for you word for word. It was very apparent that he had no clue what this was referencing.
Oh, really?
It was.
Well, he's not a real person.
Wait, he's a real person.
He's a real person.
Not a real person.
He's not one of these
His
AI.
face is on video all the time. He does interviews with people.
We have seen Ari
Myrov is a real
Myrov walking
person.
around.
I do not believe you.
You
not
have
real.
God, I wish. Oh, he might have deleted it. It was so bad.
Oh, he get blown up on it?
He definitely deleted it.
No.
It was something like, look at I love the Rams' creativity and quaint to do something original. And everyone's like, have you never seen Napoleon Dynamite? Like,
they literally teased it with the tater tots in the pocket thing. Did you see this?
Well, and the title was our Dynamite schedule release.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I saw that movie.
I don't know. I feel like people like that, and like people that I do not consider to be real people, like Darren Ravel, also not a real person.
Well, Darren Ravel is a real person.
I don't think so.
No, it's Dove Kleiman is the only person that is not a real person.
I'm aware of that, but I do not consider Darren Ravel or Ari Myrov to be real people. So I think that people like that have those kind of reactions are just like, I don't know, they don't have, their horizons have not been broadened. I would not go to them for pop culture references. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think if I was to pick three, I would probably pick, I think I have to put the Chargers in there because they did a good job. It was well done. It was well executed. It was huge production because they got the Halo voice guy, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So it's a huge production over the top.
That cost a pretty penny.
For the effort alone, the Chargers, I think, have to be put in there. I wouldn't necessarily rank them 1 through 3. I love the Napoleon Dynamite one. I would put the Rams in there. And then I thought that the Colts got the Simpsons to be cool, the Simpsons creators to be cool with licensing the Simpsons entire ethos to put out their schedule release. I thought the Colts was good.
I would include the Raiders in mine. Did you guys see it?
Oh, no, you know what? I subtract the Colts and I put in the Raiders.
The Step Brothers element between Kirk and Fernando Mendoza was incredible.
Yes.
Like just them basically quoting the entire movie of Step Brothers, him pulling a tiny dagger out and being like, look at this, this was signed by Vegas's own. All of the references, perfect. It was dry. It was weird. Make it weirder. I love it. I love the whole thing.
Did you watch that one?
No.
You should. I think you would. I think that plays into your sensibilities.
And it's under 3 minutes, too. So easier to...
They honestly look like they could be related, Mendoza and Kirk.
They do. They
do favor one another.
They're the same person. Yeah.
The Falcons didn't have a bad one either. They just spoofed old ESPN commercials, like ESPN Around the Office, where you'd see like prominent sports figures, but they just did it all with Atlanta. That was pretty good.
615-737-1045 is how you join the conversation. Talking about the schedule release videos. We'll get into obviously the context of the Titans schedule throughout the course of the show today. Some comments in the F&M Bank chat. People saying that they favored heavily the Chargers. Jordan says Bucks, Raiders, but forgets to put them in the top 3. Yes. There was a lot. I didn't see every one of them, to be fair. And Robert submitting the Raiders as a top 3 one was well-deserved. A lot of people like the Raiders. A lot of people like the Colts. See a lot of love for the Chargers in here. And I think Titans fans enjoyed their schedule release video, right?
Yeah,
I didn't see
feedback was good.
I didn't see any feedback, any negative feedback, other than Zach Lyons texting me after. Did they do F words last night? Did they do it on Thursdays?
Yes.
He texted me and said that he ripped them viciously on F words.
I love people have to check in with you, like this is your neighborhood, and be like, hey, by the way, I trashed the Titans. I just wanted to let you know, make sure that's okay.
If I approved it, was it vicious enough? Was it pointed enough, your criticism of the local professional football team? Sean is in Nashville up next.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're doing well.
So I like the Titans schedule release. I think that's kind of what we're known for now, is kind of being the man on the street thing, and I think we do it pretty well. I think a good idea that probably wouldn't have got national recognition just because we know about it more here, but I think if we had done a Coach Mack tribute and just had a highlight of one of his off-ball calls where he's just trolling the other teams, and have a clip of it as it went through the schedule, I think that would have been amazing and a great nod to Coach Mack.
I like that a lot, Sean. That's a great idea, man. I don't know how early these things start getting, planned and executed. Yeah. So, obviously, with Coach Mack, that was a development here in the last few weeks. But
we knew for a month that it was trending that direction, but that's not obviously something that I don't know.
No, I love the spirit of that idea, though. Just a Coach Mack quip about the Colts or something, because there's one on every team. There really is. So I do like that idea.
Somebody on YouTube says we I assume talking about the Titans, says we had a chance to take a real shot at Vrabel and Diana and had the right to do it. Should have had Amy saying a one-liner. Yep, thought I was wrong. Huh? Yeah, but they like.
Well, you play the Patriots.
You don't play the Patriots. It's not relevant. Like
she doesn't show up to talk. Why would she show up for that?
Thought I was wrong, huh? Can you imagine?
And we're not letting you wear our unis either. Like, what was she?
Two-Tone Blue in the F&M Bank chat said the Titans video was weak sauce, and I guess this is why he thinks it was weak sauce. We had a chance to take a real shot at Vrabel. Can you imagine if they just went out of their way?
I just think that's small-minded, right? Like, how much are you going to let those two people occupy space in your brain to not even have the Patriots on the schedule, but put in a shot at them on the schedule either way? So, that was the schedule release. You have an SEC stat of the day?
No, but observations.
Next. Nothing worse than a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. You don't know what it will cost, or if it will get fixed correctly, or if the person trying to fix the problem, or saying that they're going to fix your problem, is just trying to upsell you on something. That's where Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical come in, because the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. They're going to get your problem solved effectively and efficiently. They're going to walk you through every step of the process, because a lot of us are not super familiar with electrical issues or plumbing issues. And Hiller wants to make sure that you understand exactly what the problem is, how they're going to correct it, and what it's going to cost. Fair, upfront, honest every time. That's why they've been in business as a family-owned and operated company for over 30 years. Happy you'll be, or the service is free. That is the Happy Hiller promise. So visit them online and book your appointment today at happyhiller.com.
Let's talk about Lane Kiffin. Yay! Who's tired of Lane Kiffin talk?
Are you tired of it? Because I do think it's objectively funny.
I'm not.
Like, I think there is some Lane fatigue, but objectively, I am tickled to death by the idea of Lane Kiffin, civil rights activist.
Some of the images, the AI images that have come out after the fact.
The one of him on the bridge
in Selma, yeah.
is unbelievably good.
Pretty good. They're putting him on like posters of iconic civil rights movies, like
him taking a knee at the George Floyd situation. I mean, just a number again. Things that are not funny, but they are made funny because Lane is funny.
Who's the DJ that was like out? Maybe it was during COVID. He was like, "This is for George Floyd."
Like he's on the Empire State Building.
Calvin Harris was doing a set.
Is it David Guetta or something?
Oh, it was. I think you're right. My fault. It was David Guetta, and it was in honor of Martin Luther King. I wish if we had it on hand. It was because it was an MLS event. It was like in honor
during COVID?
Yes, because it was MLS was coming back, was doing like their MLS's back tournament during COVID and in the bubble down in Florida. And David Guetta did this thing commemorating it. And it was
the joke is in meme culture is like David Guetta ends racism, but what they're doing is they're taking Lane Kiffin's face and putting it on David Guetta's body.
What he did was remix the "I Have a Dream" speech
into like house music, like dubstep.
No. Literally, like it starts out with Martin Luther King going, "I have a dream," and then it just like remixes into
there's a proclivity for a younger generation to describe things that are, fading or fallen off as cooked. We are cooked as a society. If, in fact, David Guetta is remixing the "I Have a Dream" speech and saying, "Shout out George Floyd, this one's for you."
6 years ago.
Do you guys know if Chopped is good or bad?
Bad.
Chopped is bad. See, I thought if you were thinking Chopped, it'd be like, oh, dude, you're looking svelte.
No. Chopped is like ugly, bad.
Oh, that's why all those kids in my neighborhood keep calling me Chopped.
I'm 32. I thought it was a cooking show.
It is a cooking show.
Okay. I didn't even know it was like a reference.
It's a great cooking show.
Every time I come home, these kids are like, Chopped, Chopped, Chopped. So I like start flexing for them. I'm like, oh, yeah, you like that? You like the guns, kids?
You know what? This is starting to make more sense because I told you, you two obviously know that my sister has moved down here. She's going to live with me until she figures out what she wants to do. And Lily is 23 or 24, or she's right around there. So
she's alive. I don't know how old she is.
She's 9 years younger than me, whatever that ends up being. But she's using references that like a Gen Z person would. And I'm like, what are you saying? I need like a translator.
So, obviously, Lane Kiffin talked to Vanity Fair for 4 hours, a long article in which he referenced the struggles he had at Ole Miss with the racist history and background of Oxford, Mississippi, and the history of segregation in Mississippi, and the challenges that brought to him in recruiting with families not wanting to send their kids into environments that have that sort of history that, tends to linger in places like Oxford, Mississippi, and sort of insinuating that it was this big challenge and not saying that's why I left or it's a reason why I left, but, choosing to bring that up at this moment. Kiffin has been a huge topic of discussion since. Paul Feinbaum. Robert, can we hear from Paul Feinbaum on ESPN talking to Heather Dinich about Lane Kiffin? And Feinbaum did not hold back talking about his buddy Lane.
An SEC coach at LSU is breaking big news in Vanity Fair. Has to be shaking up Fifth Avenue right now, Greeny. But it's Lane Kiffin. And the most important thing to factor in here, this wasn't a slip of the tongue. I talked to the writer who did the Vanity Fair piece the other day, Kurt Smith. He said he didn't even ask Kiffin about the racism aspect of it. Kiffin just started riffing, and this is Kiffin trying to wipe Ole Miss off the face of the earth. He is still very bitter at them, even though they're the jilted lover. He's bitter at them, Greeny, because they wouldn't let him coach in the playoffs. And he has to recruit against them, and he also has to play against them on September 19th, a game that will gain a little bit of attention. But the Sarkisian thing is even more amazing. The fact that any college coach is whining and complaining about anything. Steve Sarkisian makes about $12 million a year, and not one person on his roster is going to the University of Texas for the curriculum. They're going for the money.
So that's Paul Feinbaum on Lane Kiffin. So that's the speculation that Kiffin is bitter because Ole Miss wouldn't let him coach in the college football playoff. Well, he's still talking, And he spoke with Wilson Alexander.
Lane is still talking. He spoke with Wilson Alexander of On3 Sports in an article that you can read on On3 Sports. But here's a snippet from the article. Kiffin talking about not coaching Ole Miss in the playoff. He said, quote, "Obviously, I wish the timing was different. There was no way around it. Tried to do everything possible to still coach, and obviously that was Keith Carter's decision and understandable. Do I still wish that had happened? Yeah, I do. I wish that would have been allowed to happen. Maybe we would have won it all." And I love that comment. Could have had a national championship. But what do I know?
Yeah. Just little old me.
I am both exhausted by him and not tired of him, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm exhausted by all things Lane Kiffin, but there are still so many just delightfully petty and stupid things that he does. Or I don't even want to describe it as stupid because it's smart. Like, he is ribbing people in a smart way, but you don't see this very often from coaches ever. Like, Lane is in a very specific category. There's not even a second place for Lane, right? The closest thing that I would think of is like Spurrier publicly ribbing people.
He's the GOAT.
Right?
He's the GOAT. Yes. Like, because he did it in his charismatic Spurrier, nonchalant way.
Like,
Spurrier,
what's the line about the Orange Bowl?
You can't spell citrus without UT. Right. When it was Butch Jones and Spurrier was at South Carolina, I said, they're doing jumping jacks in Knoxville, winning 7 games, things like that. Or pin cartwheels, whatever he said. Spurrier is, make no mistake, the GOAT when it comes to SEC head coaches at a podium. But Kiffin is certainly at the top of that now for kind of other reasons, though. It's not as charming or charismatic as Spurrier is. It tends to piss people off maybe more than Spurrier did. But it does bring some juice that had been lacking a little bit when you talk about SEC media days. Because obviously Lane's been around, but as the head coach at Ole Miss, you always paid attention anytime he said something. But there's just a different feel about it now with the drama of leaving Ole Miss and going to LSU that makes SEC media days suddenly more interesting at the podium. And we had a good run there for a while where you had Lane at Ole Miss and you had Mike Leach at Mississippi State. It feels like we're kind of back to having some juice there when SEC media days roll around and when spring meetings roll around in less than 2 weeks. Real quick, in SEC news, Georgia football players are back at it.
Oh, my God.
Robert.
An ECU guy.
ECU, yes.
It doesn't take long.
Georgia safety Jamarly Riddle.
Georgia is strong, baby.
You can talk about that scheme they run, but the culture, baby. The culture permeates through osmosis.
Heather Dinich of ESPN. Jamarly Riddle, a safety that transferred from East Carolina this past offseason, was arrested on May 8th on a pair of felony charges for possession of a controlled substance and a misdemeanor speeding charge, according to a police report obtained by WGIG in Georgia. He just transferred there, and he was traveling at a high rate of speed on I-95, according to the police report, when a detective in an undercover car observed a red Dodge Durango weaving in and out of traffic. His patrol car was traveling about 95 miles per hour.
He's doing that in a Rango, dude.
No. The patrol car was traveling 95 miles per hour in pursuit, and the Durango was still, quote, gaining distance on him. Like, this dude was flying.
If you're unfamiliar with a Durango, it's a tank, right? It's an armored rhinoceros
beetle. Do they even
beetle.
still make them?
I don't know. My buddy, he used to steal his mom's when we were in high school to go on like little road trips.
Yeah. I had one in high school.
Durangos are awesome.
It's an SUV, a big old SUV. Yeah. He's not zipping around in a little sports car.
Yeah, there's a 2026 Dodge Durango. Yeah, dude, he's going faster than 95 miles an hour, just whipping
like
it,
that
dude.
Thing has, I mean.
And he's not like a star-studded player. He was like a 3-star transfer portal guy. And
it's just what you do.
Yep.
It's initiation.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's initiation.
Have we considered that? Has there been an investigation that to be initiated and accepted as a member of Georgia football, you have to pick up some sort of...
Oh, my God.
They all come in crimson
misdemeanor
cloaks. It's like, here are your car keys.
They drop the keys.
You know what you must do.
It's like when people, at a party, you used to put your car keys in a bowl so people wouldn't drive, and you'd leave the
and then
keys
you go and steal all their
That's
keys
right.
so you can have their cars.
No,
I remember.
They offer you the bowl, and you close your eyes, and you take out a key, and then you take it to the streets.
You, the Durango.
Hey, that's okay.
That would be like me driving my car, my Explorer, that fast.
That's
Insane.
okay. We broke up. We broke up. He's broke, and we're up. Did you guys see Mr. Beast is filming Beast games at ECU's Coliseum or at their stadium?
You have told us that 17 times.
Well, they're actually doing it now. People are doing pictures at night. It looks like an alien spaceship has landed there with all the lights going. It's like 3 a.m. They're doing explosions. It's awesome.
Somebody in the YouTube comment says, y'all don't understand how boring rural Georgia is. That's not an excuse.
There's so many college towns that are boring, man.
Go axe throwing.
Go have a house party.
Go to College Station and tell me what's going on in College Station. You're not seeing those
You
dudes.
think Bloomington, Indiana is a hot spot?
Yeah, what happened to underage drinking? Like, can we not just do this safely, guys? Can we not just have some Jello shots?
Just go drink in a house. Why do you got to...
Literally,
put people's
what
lives
every
in danger.
other college person does before they can legally go to a bar. Do that.
Larry says that highway from Atlanta to Athens has got to be like a Mad Max movie.
It's like the Audubon.
It just, instead of like these giant pine trees, it just turns into the desert, the wasteland like Mad Max.
There's fire spewing out from the tailpipes.
Georgia should buy every single one of these guys the new Forza game with like a gaming steering wheel and be like, you want to go fast? Knock yourself out, dude. We have a new driving simulator at the facility. Please stop leaving to do this.
The Forza callback is so good. The free game everybody got with their like Xbox 360 or something like that.
A new one's out, dude. It looks slick.
Is it? All right. Well, speaking of slick, we'll talk about the Titans' schedule, the toughest and easiest stretch for the local professional football team, and Greg Cosell's analysis of the Titans' matchups on this year's schedule in the second hour. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone.
11:03. Good morning from the Circa Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzika. The Titans' 2026 regular season schedule is out, and for the second consecutive season, the Titans will not be playing in primetime, opening up at home in Week 1 against the Jets, Week 2 against the Eagles before the first road trips of the season, Week 3 at the Giants, and Week 4 at the Ravens. The bye week happens in Week 9, and the final game at the current Nissan Stadium is Week 17, January 3rd at noon against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Titans close out the season in Week 18 at the Houston Texans. Stanley Cup playoffs, the Canadians outscored the Sabres 6-3, taking a 3-2 series lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Over in the West, the Golden Knights routed the Ducks 5-1, taking Game 6 and moving on to the Western Conference Finals. They will face Colorado. NBA playoff action tonight, Pistons and Cavs. Tipping off at 6 in the East. Cleveland leads at 3-2. In the Western Conference semis, the Spurs and Timberwolves tip off at 8:30. San Antonio can close out the series with a win. They have a lead 3-2. Nashville Soccer Club returns to Geodis Park Sunday night, hosting LAFC at Geodis Park. Kickoff at 7 p.m. between two of the best teams in Major League Soccer. Pre-game coverage on the Zone starts at 6:30. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
So the Titans' schedule was made available. All 32 teams had their schedules announced in full yesterday evening, and we are going to talk about the toughest and easiest stretches as we see them on the Titans' schedule today. Welcome back to the show on this Friday, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Greg Cosell will talk matchups on the schedule with us, the matchups that intrigue him most, when we get to him here in about 15 minutes from now. And your phone calls are always welcome. 615-737-1045. What's your favorite game on the schedule? Do you think the NFL did them dirty in any particular way? Why do you think they're not on prime time? Whatever you want to weigh in schedule-wise, you're welcome to do so. Via the phones, 615-737-1045 is the number. At the end of this hour, Robert, what can they win if they give us their Friday Fire?
Oh, something, I assume. Probably a good prize if I'm guessing off engaging the prizes that have been given out in the last couple
of prizes lately.
The prizes have been really good, and I'm sure that this one will be no different. If I had to guess, it would probably be some kind of ticket. Some kind of giveaway.
Do you need me to buy you?
No, come on.
He's got it.
Dang it, I got it. Some ticket, I would assume, presumably to a music show or something of a comedy variety. Come on, almost there. Post Malone tickets. Oh, I was right. It was tickets to a music event.
What a payoff. Post Malone
at Nissan Stadium, June 30th.
He's got a couple of other people like playing with him at Nissan, right?
That is not in the liners,
okay,
but I will figure that out for you momentarily.
Because I know it's a part of their big-ass stadium tour. I don't think Jelly is on the marquee, but I know that Jelly Roll has been a part of that tour. I do think there are a couple other people that he's expected to play that Nissan show with.
Big X the Plug and Carter Faith. I'm unfamiliar with Carter Faith, but Big X the Plug is a good get.
I think he's been here. I think he's been like here working on it. He's doing like the Shabuzi thing where he's about to put out a country album.
No.
Buddy,
not really?
They are on multiple songs. He's from Texas.
Right. Obviously, yeah. If you're familiar with his catalog, yes.
I'm from Texas,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I was about to say it, and I was like, oh, maybe just...
He makes it very clear.
It's very apparent. So, Titans will be going to Texas, but not until the end of the regular season. Well, I guess they'll be going to Dallas as well. They have a season finale against the Houston Texans. Has been it's been the Jags the last couple. Have they had Jags 3 years in a row season finale? Because I remember 23, they won. Tannehill, Henry, Vrabel against the Jags. Last year was definitely at Jacksonville.
It's been 3 years in a row.
I think it's been 3 years.
22 was
against the Jags. 22, I don't remember. 22, I think was...
No, 22 was against the Jags because it was the win in Dobbs, went down to Jacksonville Saturday night.
4 in a row against the Jags. It's kind of crazy. at the end of the year. But then the Texans, they also had like an outsized number of at Texans season finale games as well, because I remember that's where Derrick Henry in the COVID season got past the 2,000-yard mark with a huge game against the Texans. So, Post Malone, 615, not yet. At 11:45 today is when we will do the Post Malone ticket giveaway. What is the toughest stretch on the Titans schedule? If you had to guess, looking at this, again, I'll just run through it quickly for the audience. 2 back-to-back home games to open the season, Jets and Philly, at New York, at Baltimore, home Houston, at Indy, home Cleveland, at Cincy, then a Week 9 bye. Second half of the season, Jacksonville, at Dallas, again at Jacksonville, home for Washington, at Detroit, home Indy, at Vegas, home Pittsburgh, season or I guess career finale at Nissan Stadium. For Nissan Stadium, we'll host Pittsburgh, and then the season finale date and time TBD, but Week 18 at Houston. What is the toughest stretch of the Titans schedule?
Man, it's actually a tough question. Last year, it was very easy, right? Because they had that long stretch away from home.
I mean, it was the start of the season, too.
The start of the season was tough, too, with the Rams early on.
Broncos.
After the opener in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a much tougher question. I still think weeks 2 through 4, Philly at the Giants.
2 through 5.
2 through 5. You're right. Philly at the Giants, at the Ravens, at home against Houston. And then you follow that up with another AFC South road trip going up to Indy. But there is not like a standout juggernaut because we don't know. I mean, I don't know what the Lions are going to be.
That's what I said last night when we reacted to it.
I don't know what the Commanders are going to be in Week 13.
I'm selling low on both of those two this year. Like, I think they could be better if Jaden Daniels just has a 1% healthier season, but I don't think they're good necessarily. There is a lot of reasons to be optimistic about Detroit. There's plenty of questions about Detroit, though. Like, I think it's fair to question the veracity of both of those teams, especially late in the season.
Don't they kind of have? We brought up the comparison to Mike Vrabel losing Arthur Smith and Dean Pease and Dan Campbell losing his coordinators, and bits and pieces of that Lions core have sort of fallen off along the way. Mm-hmm. But it almost reminds me of the Titans nearing the end of the Vrabel era, where it's like, right, run it back.
It's almost the exact same thing because, right, they peaked in the NFC Championship game. They lost to the Niners or Eagles?
Niners.
Are you sure? Wasn't that Philadelphia in the Super Bowl?
I'm pretty sure that was when the Niners went and lost to the Chiefs in overtime. The Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, okay. You're
crazy
probably right. Either way, they lost in the NFC Championship game. Titans lost in the AFC Championship game, right? Under Vrabel and Henry and all those. So, I mean, the parallels are almost exact. The offensive line starts to fall off, and now that's something that they got to figure out in Detroit. It's the GM there is Brad Holmes, and he has been regarded very highly. So we'll see if he doesn't if he can avoid the John Robinson nosedive that the Titans took as far as trying to continue to competitively rebuild a Lions team that, I mean, Detroit had that whole, you've been to Detroit. Did you see I don't know if you quite call it a skyscraper, but one of the taller buildings in downtown Detroit with that giant mural of "This is our year," all the different things. Detroit is football city, these.
Yeah, the buzz has been very real in Detroit.
I feel like, to your point, Lucas, those first 8 weeks can also be the toughest for them because it could exploit their greatest weakness, which is the offensive line. All of those teams either have good pass rushes, good defensive lines, or a combination of the two. The Jets, probably the weakest of that, but Aaron Glenn, you would imagine, would be able to get a lot more out of those guys.
Devondre Sweat revenge game.
Right. The Eagles, obviously, monstrous defensive line. The Giants, incredible pass rush. The Ravens, new scheme, but have a deeper pass rush arsenal than they did last year after the Nnamdi Madubuike injury. The Texans, that speaks for itself.
Yeah, best pass rush in the NFL.
The Colts, the Browns, Myles Garrett. Yep. The Bengals with Dexter Lawrence and their upgraded pass rush. Like, it seems like if there was going to be something that is cause for concern over those 8 weeks, it would be, can Austin Schlottman hang up in the middle?
Yeah.
Can Dan Moore get closer to average to above average to handle the pass rush? Like, those are the questions I think we're going to be asking as the season goes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's go to the phones before we get Cosell in here. Steve is in Nashville.
Buck, thank you for taking my call. I wanted to call you yesterday yesterday and say, cheer up, it'll be better. But
Your phone line is terrible, so I didn't hear what you just said.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
What'd you
Can
say?
you hear me now?
Don't.
All right, perfect. But Buck, I was going to call yesterday and tell you to cheer up, but it wasn't Happy Friday yet, so I let you go. But I looked at the schedule. I analyzed everything. I think the toughest portion is September 1st through January 3rd. Have a good weekend.
Thank you for the call. Cheer up. I was in a good mood yesterday.
You got pre-mad.
I think it's an acceptable thing for me to get pre-mad about.
Is it ever acceptable to be pre-mad?
Yes.
A grumpy little boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay.
Gives you
It's okay.
something to do for the 3 hours that we're here.
Give him his iPad and his whatever
His blankie.
fish sticks. whatever.
Fish sticks.
I don't know. Kids still feeding kids fish sticks.
Surely not in an RFK Junior society, right?
Yeah,
Or
not
fish
after that Kanye West South Park stuff. You can't feed kids fish sticks.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
You haven't.
If you know, you know.
You haven't seen that episode.
If you know, you know.
What I know is that Greg Cosell will make us smarter about the matchups on the Titans schedule, as Robert just brought some up. Coming up next. Two Rivers Ford is the South's most trusted Ford dealer. They're here to help you with all of your car buying needs. In fact, they make the car buying process fast, easy, and more fun. And right now, they have a great event going on, not just employee pricing for everyone, but they have their Blue and You event going on tomorrow at the dealership in Mount Juliet because it's National Police Week this week. And to celebrate, Two Rivers Ford is hosting a free family meet and greet with the Mount Juliet Police Department tomorrow, May the 16th, from 9 to 11 a.m. Bring the kids and come meet the dedicated police officers of the Mount Juliet Police Department. You can explore the inside of a police car, get to know the tools of the trade, engage with first responders. Chick-fil-A will be on hand. There will be door prizes that you can register for, and so much more fun. While you're there, you can check out the incredible employee pricing deals that Two Rivers Ford has going on right now, which means you pay what they pay on almost every Ford on the lot. Blue and You this Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. at Two Rivers Ford, 76 Belinda Parkway, Mount Juliet. Local, honest, real, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Best hot chicken in the world. Greg Cosell of NFL Films is kind enough to stop by and hang out with us. Greg, as we were getting ready to tape the podcast, said, "No, wait, you dope. We should talk about the schedule on Friday instead of doing a podcast before the schedule is released." And so I said, "Greg, you're very smart. We'll do that." In fact, Greg Cosell joins us now. Thanks for doing it, buddy.
Do you have the record all figured out, what the season record's going to be?
Yes, I have given them wins and losses every week. I have devised a full 17-game record prediction. I have it all thought out, Greg. Got it all in hand.
I know. I'm sure that's been done in every market. They've got the team's record all figured out.
That's how these things go.
Tennessee's the only schedule I've looked at because I'm talking to you. So I usually don't get to the schedule till a little later.
Yeah, I don't imagine that you are doing what Robert spent the entire morning doing, which is going through basically every team's schedule release video and grading them vigorously.
Does Robert have everybody figured out?
Yeah, I mean, perpetually. You know this by talking to him half drunk at the install every year.
What you want to know, Greg?
Well, what's the Titans record going to be, Robert? What do you got?
Looking like 17-0 to me, Greg.
That's what I was going to say. I think you're right on. You're right on.
So as I mentioned, Greg had the foresight to say, no, let's not do a podcast dummy before the schedule comes out. Let's do the podcast, or let's talk about the schedule after the schedule is out, because there are some interesting matchups to discuss.
Yeah.
Now, Greg, just from a tactical standpoint, knowing these coaches, a lot of familiar faces on this schedule, especially for Robert Saleh and Brian Dable, who will see their respective former teams that they used to be the head coaches of early on in the Titans season. When you looked through the Titans schedule, what matchups, what tactical discussions piqued your interest?
The first one was Philly week 2, because Philly, with their new offensive coaching staff, with Sean Mannion, the new OC, and pretty much everybody else on the offensive side of the ball, coming from sort of the McVay, Shanahan school, as it were. Obviously, Robert Saleh is very familiar with those concepts, that philosophy of offense. So that was the one that when I saw it immediately stood out to me, that'll be very interesting from a tactical perspective. And Philly's interesting because it's, like I said, it's a brand new offense. And normally those kinds of things are a little bit of a work in progress. So, and again, of course, what's interesting too is they start with 2 games at home. When was the last time that happened, Buck? 2 home games to start the year.
Greg, I really don't think in the 10 years that I've been doing it that they've had back-to-back home games to start the season.
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, look, obviously you'd love to be in a position to win them, but to talk about that now is pointless. But that's pretty cool that they're starting with 2 home games.
Greg, they open with the New York Jets week 1. Robert Saleh immediately gets to face his former employer. This trade, the Tavondre Sweat for Jermaine Johnson swap, dropped in the middle of Combine Week. So I feel like we didn't get a big chance to talk to you about it. We were talking about draft prospects and a whole lot of other things in that week in Indianapolis. So overall, as Tavondre Sweat will face up with his former team in the Titans, what did you make of the Tavondre Sweat fit and where he is at this point in his career and how he could be utilized in that Aaron Glenn defense against the Titans offensive line that does have some questions on the interior?
Yeah. Well, when you look at Aaron Glenn and where he came from and what the Lions had on their defensive front, they had some big people. You know, the Aleem McNeils, he was there. They had big people up front. And the thing about Sweat, and again, I can't speak to the young man. I can't speak to his work ethic. I don't know those things. But, you know, we know that he's a big man who's pretty athletic. He's got pretty light feet. So it probably fits the way Aaron Glenn kind of sees what his defense should look like. And then, as we discussed, during the install with Jermaine Johnson, let's say Keldrick Falk can end up winning the job and be a starter, particularly in the base defense. They will have a really big base defensive front. And I think that's something Robert Saleh would like. I mean, you would look at Johnson, who's probably 265, 270 at one end, Falk, who's 280 at the other end. Then you got Simmons inside with Franklin Myers. I mean, that's a very, very big group inside. And, you'd hope that group can stop the run basically as a foursome. Obviously you have linebackers who are part of it as well, but that's a really big group. But it'll be interesting because Johnson, to me, he had a chance to be a really good player. I remember evaluating him coming out of Florida State. He was originally a Georgia recruit, big-time recruit, got hurt, of course. But there's a lot of talent there with Jermaine Johnson.
Greg Cosell is with us. By the way, Teresa Walker, the great Teresa Walker, has texted in that 2010, the last time the Titans started a season with back-to-back home games. Also, the last time the Titans won a home opener in Week 1, 2010. So Robert Saleh faces the Jets in Week 1. Brian Daboll gets a chance to face the Giants in Week 3, the Titans' first road trip of the season. When you look at Cam Ward and Jackson Dart, both looking to take a step in year 2, and what they're surrounded by, Greg, where do you feel better right now, considering the surroundings of Jackson Dart and Cam Ward? Who do you think may be in a better position?
Recording in progress.
I mean, that's a hard question to answer right now. They're different kinds of players because Dart, and again, I don't know how they're going to coach him in New York and if they're going to try to channel him a little bit because obviously he was running a lot last year. Got hurt, missed some time. He's not a bad thrower, obviously. He can make throws. But it'll be curious to see how that plays out. We've heard, in the last week about Malik Neighbors. Now there's some uncertainty, I guess, as to where his status will be, given that he had a second operation, which, of course, they're saying is a cleanup, but you never know. They don't have to publicize every detail. So we'll see if he's even ready early in the season. I'm really anxious to see Cam Ward under Daboll. I mean, we've talked about this to some degree, and as we go through mini camps and training camp, we'll get a lot more information. But Cam Ward, I thought, handled himself really, really well in a very tough rookie season. He's a talented young man. He throws the ball really well. Obviously, they address the wide receiver position. So they've got Tate. They've got the two rookies who will be second-year players. Ridley, I guess we don't know what Ridley is at this point, coming off a pretty serious injury, and he's now over 30. So there's a lot of questions with this offense in terms of the receiving core and how it's going to shake out. But I would expect Cam Ward to improve. And improve is a relative term. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be a top 10 quarterback in the league. We don't know the answer to that. But Brian Daboll's been coaching a long time. He's very much responsible in many people's minds for Josh Allen's early development. He's been with Nick Saban at Alabama. I mean, he's got a pretty serious coaching pedigree and a lot of success.
Well, and obviously the best coaches, Greg, will adjust their schematic approach, what they're going to implement maybe that week or that season into their playbook based on the personnel that they have. And the thing that Daboll has continued to bring up with us when we've spoken to him the last couple of times is that they are trying, that their endeavor is to create an offense in which the receivers aren't quite positionless, but that they all display enough versatility to play all three spots, all three wide receiver roles, regardless of what player you're putting into that specific situation, like i.e. Wan'Dale Robinson on the outside as opposed to exclusively a slot player.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And I think that a lot of teams are moving in that direction because there's more pre-snap movement now. There's more formation variation. There's more reduced splits. So, yeah, that's a great point. And we'll see how it all plays out. Ward, Ward is one thing that stood out to me. I remember in when Brian Dable was in Buffalo, and he really pushed the ball down the field. Now, obviously, Josh Allen has one of the strongest arms in the league, if not the strongest. And they really ran a lot of intermediate and vertical route concepts. And Cam Ward can make those kinds of throws. So I'm curious to see, what they focus on. Obviously, every playbook is, reams of pages, and it has everything in it. It just depends what you want to do foundationally, what you want your main philosophy to be. And sometimes that can change in a given week depending on the opponent. But I'm very curious to see if they really try to, work that intermediate vertical passing game, because certainly Ward can make those throws.
Greg Cosell of NFL Films is here with us. We're reacting to the Titans schedule, the opponents on the Titans schedule, talking about the tactics, the unknowns, the different questions that these teams have to answer. Baltimore, Greg, I don't know if there is as big an unknown. Jesse Minter has been in the league for a while, right? And we know what his defenses have looked like. Their offensive coordinator in Declan Doyle is younger than anybody in this room, which is a crazy thing to say at 29 years old. He comes from Ben Johnson's system with the Bears, which obviously Ben Johnson was calling the plays. That offense in Baltimore is a science experiment to me, because theoretically they should be able to do a lot of cool things. I just don't know what it's going to look like.
Yeah, and again, now you're asking Lamar Jackson, who's obviously had great success in this league, to learn a new system. And I guess what'll be interesting is Doyle, because of where he's been and being young, he doesn't know 10 different systems. And coaches, particularly young coaches, coach what they know. Now, obviously, I'm sure that Doyle, because from what I've heard, he's incredibly intelligent, is probably this offseason studying so many different things. But as far as actually teaching it, he's never taught. He's only taught what he knows. So it'll be interesting to see what that mix is, guys. I don't think anybody knows the answer to that for sure. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, that's another work in progress. So it'll be very interesting, and that's early in the season. It's week 4, so they'll still be kind of going through a little bit of the learning curve at that point.
Robert made the point earlier, Greg, that the Titans will face some pretty mean pass rushes early on in this season. Some of the best in the NFL. When you look at the Texans in week 5, going up against Myles Garrett in week 7, the Bengals after acquiring Dexter Lawrence in week 8. We don't know what the interior of this Titans offensive line looks like at the moment, but based on the moves they made there, whether it's Schlottman, Volson, some of these NFL veterans they brought in mostly on one-year deals, for what you know about some of those players, what do you think about the outlook of the Titans' interior offensive line with Peter Skoronski at left guard and some questions outside of that?
Yeah, I guess that center and right guard were a little uncertain right now, and that's why you go through, OTAs and minicamp and training camp. Just being honest, when Volson was in Cincinnati, I did not think, and I watched a lot of the Bengals for obvious reasons, I never thought he was a great one-on-one pass protector. And, the league has changed, and I had a great conversation with an O-line coach who's been coaching for years, talking about the evolution of pass protection with offensive linemen. And one point he made, and as soon as he said it, I just thought back to all the film I watched and said, wow, you're right, is that more and more teams are showing 5-man fronts and 6-man fronts in passing situations. I'm not talking about, 1st and 10. I'm talking about passing situations. So what does that mean? It 98% of the time means that your offensive line is doing what's called 5-0 protection, meaning that each guy is blocking one-on-one. So even your interior offensive linemen have to be able to pass protect one-on-one in passing situations. That's becoming a critical deal, because if you cannot pass protect one-on-one on 3rd down, it's very, very difficult to have a consistent pass game.
Well, and it's just going to be so curious after we did the live show here a couple of weeks ago, Greg, with Borgonzi, like talking to him about Fernando Carmona and Pat Coogan and 2 guys who have played a ton of football. I don't know if that's enough to overcome their athletic deficiencies that they might have. And in the case of Coogan, frankly, if I'm being completely honest, physical deficiencies. Like he gets handled. And if you go back and watch, I'm sure a lot of Indiana's games. He's a tough.
He struggled a bit to anchor and pass pro.
Yeah.
That was not his strength. And that obviously, if it's one-on-one, that becomes a concern. Carmona is a different cat because he was actually a left tackle in his first, I think, was it San Jose State? I forget where he was before. Yeah, before he went to Arkansas. So, he's got some athletic movement to him. Now, again, we don't know how all this is going to play out, but we do know that interior O linemen don't have to be first-round draft picks in order to start. So right now, other than Skoronski, I think the interior of that O line at center and right guard is kind of up for grabs. So we'll see how that plays out. Look, the best guys are going to play. I mean, that's the way this works. This is the NFL. So it doesn't matter where you've been before. This is a new coaching staff. The best guys are going to play. I liked Carmona's tape. That doesn't mean he's a starter week one. I'm not an offensive line guru. I can't speak to that. But I think he's going to get an opportunity.
Greg, appreciate your time as always, my friend, and we will get back to our regularly scheduled taping next week.
Regularly scheduled programming. Check your local listings.
Yes, sir. That's Greg Cosell.
Love you, Greg.
NFL Films.
All right, Robert. We'll see you.
Eat it. Eat it.
He'll say it back once.
I don't think so.
One day he'll say it.
Only if he means it, and I know he doesn't.
The Greg laugh after a Robert, I love you, gives me life.
Yeah, it just tickles him. He's like, who is this weirdo telling me that he loves him? And who constantly, dribbles a little bit on me when he's asking me about Ravens 5th-round picks.
No, we had a great thing at the install. I was like, Greg, tell me about Matthew Hibner, this tight end at SMU. He was like, I didn't watch him. I was like, yeah, me neither. I don't think anybody did. I needed your help, Greg. I thought we would know this guy together. We could put our brains together.
Just the all right, Robert.
Just like, oh, that's cute. Bye.
Greg does appreciate Robert because Greg appreciates anybody that is as obsessed with talking ball as Greg Cosell is.
And when Greg wants munchkins, Greg gets munchkins.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Oh, my God. Don't a bag of munchkins hates to see Cosell coming. That is absolutely the truth.
I think he ate 95% of that 40.
I'm telling you.
We've all seen the gif of like rubbing the hands together, walking up to the counter. Like,
no, it's like, who's that heavyset dude that has the meme where he's hiding behind the tree, rubbing his hands together? You know what I'm talking about?
The former Bears defensive tackle.
Really?
He used to do all of those.
He did play. It's like Spice something, maybe.
Spice Adams.
That sounds right. I don't know off the top of my head. He's
the
several,
worst. Anthony Adams, Spice Adams.
Spice
Adams.
Adams.
The worst of the Spice Girls.
Yeah,
yes.
so he's hiding behind the trees, rubbing his hands together. Right, that's Cosell when he sees a bag of munchkins.
Do you guys have a favorite Spice Girl?
Which one's Beckham married to?
Posh, yeah. Which is the least talented
Victoria.
Spice Girl.
That's fine.
But look what she did. She had the inability to smile. And she turned that into, she couldn't sing, couldn't dance, turned it into a career. Now she's a member of the royal family. She's got a fashion line.
Yep.
I mean, she's not a member of the royal family.
Well, she got inducted.
He's a knight, and she is
okay.
Whatever the.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what the.
Have you seen the drama around the Beckham son, Brooklyn Beckham?
No.
That he's like basically not exiled from. He has exiled himself from the Beckham family. There's
like a Chet Hanks situation. Actually, I think Tom Hanks is very supportive of Chet Hanks.
Yeah, that guy gets whatever he wants.
Brooklyn is over his parents. He is over David and Victoria.
Interesting.
Also, the UK is apparently broke. Did you guys see this? That if you were to put up the money of each U.S. state, and they asked like all these UK citizens where would they rank among states, they would be 51st.
Yeah, it turns out Brexit, not a great idea.
Oh, my goodness. The Brits that had to be in line with the rest of us, like in customs, when you're
coming back,
going or coming back, they don't get to go in the Euro line.
Yeah.
they gotta schlep it with all the, fat Americans.
Yep.
And the bristling and complaining I heard from British travelers going in and out of Portugal. Yeah, they're not loving that experience.
They said,
right now.
No, not so fast.
Yeah, like
you don't want to be in here?
All the Italians and French are just zipping through the Euro line. Nobody's there. And then meanwhile, we're backed up all the way out here, and they're right there with us.
Again, turns out isolationism, not a good idea in today's modern geopolitical atmosphere. Anyway, I am tickled thinking about that bag of Munchkins sitting on the desk at the combine, and Greg just picking up the rest of them and taking them with him.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure.
Like no one would notice. Just
No, it was not a care. It was not. These are mine. I have eaten the majority of these things. It is my job to finish the job.
I think Kirby had 1 and Greg had 39.
Well, Kirby also doesn't eat. Like the fact that we saw Kirby eat in person more than once, an upset.
It's because he's got a new baby puppy.
The puppy is cute.
Puppy is very cute.
Cochise.
Yes.
They said they're going to call that dog Cheese.
Well, it's like the Comanche word for chief or something like that.
There's an Audio Slave song called Cochise.
All right, very good.
Didn't know if Kirby was an Audio Slave fan.
What do we have to give away? We have Post Malone tickets to give away. If you call us and tell us, 615-737-1045, your Friday Fire. What's the nice thing, positive thing that happened to you throughout the course of the week, personal, professional, sports, or otherwise? We'll give you ours. We'll get yours coming up next. Yes, for the opportunity to win some Post Malone tickets featuring Big X the Plug and somebody else I've not heard of at Nissan Stadium. 615-737-1045 is the number. All you got to do, call in, tell us the good thing that happened to you this week. Could be sports, could be personal, professional, anything that you're celebrating on this Friday. Mine is a celebration of chaos. Have you guys, either of you, taken a Waymo yet? The self-driving cars. Rideshare cars.
I did in Arizona when Megan and I were out there visiting Phoenix for her fellowship opportunities.
I'll never set foot in one of those clankers. You couldn't pay me to get in one of those things.
How long until that's like actually not okay?
You oil sipper, get out of here.
You better get him out now. That's going to be an HR violation.
We will soon be canceled
in a matter of time.
It's my grand design is to keep my name on the radio show and just be replaced by AI, but still collect a paycheck. That is I would like to be a Waymo me at some point.
And then just do nothing?
Yes.
Oh.
But you chastised me for saying I would do nothing if I won the lottery. What would be your purpose in life then?
No, I'd still do stuff.
Yeah, you'd still rage bait
you would
people
still do
on Twitter.
stuff.
No, I would still bother people infinitely on Twitter.
Now you're flip-flopping.
Either way, I am delighted by the chaos that Waymos bring cities. I think it's funny until it happens to me. Then it's going to be a great inconvenience. Have you seen this story about what happened in Atlanta, Lucas, with Waymo?
Yes, it's insane.
We go to WSB-TV in Atlanta for news.
Waymo after Waymo after Waymo enter this dead-end street, usually early in the morning.
I think yesterday morning we had 50 cars that came through between 6 and 7.
Neighbors on Battleview Drive started seeing the autonomous, driverless cars 2 months ago, but the groupings and large number of Waymos just started circling in and out in the last couple weeks. They even shared video with us when neighbors used this little guy to put him right out here in the street to block the Waymos from getting into the cul-de-sac.
It's a child-shaped traffic cone.
What happened next?
And we had at one point 8 Waymos that were stuck trying to figure out how to turn around.
The Waymos are empty and not picking anyone up. And parents are worried, not only calling it excessive, but dangerous.
We're families, we have small kids, we have animals and pets, we've got kids getting on the bus in the mornings, and it just doesn't feel safe to have that traffic.
I love that she's talking about them like they're predators.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. They're circling this cul-de-sac like sharks.
It's actually terrifying. Like it's something out of a horror movie. Like if Alfred Hitchcock was around.
Black Mirror Hitchcock.
100%. Like Stephen King could absolutely write a horrifying novel about something like this.
It's
they're
the
taking
start
over
of the
the
robot
neighborhood.
takeover.
Yes.
They're circling. They're saying, all right, which one of you is going to come out? This is going to be our first victim, and then we're going to circle you like predators.
Hello,
terrifying.
kids. Which one of you would like to go to school today?
They didn't say anything about, they said don't get in a car with strangers. What about a robot?
Yeah. What if there is no stranger? Like the tagline for the movie poster, Waymo problems. Waymo technology, Waymo problems. Coming this fall.
I'm delighted by the way, the chaos that Waymos bring cities has brought me joy. Until it happens to me, then I'm going to be pissed about it.
Don't ride in them.
I don't, but you've seen, like right out here, we're right off Demumbrian. They've gotten caught up at these intersections, crossing the highway, over the top of the highway, the overpass, from Demumbrian or going down Demumbrian to downtown. Like they are wreaking havoc all over the place for people. And I feel like the experience is more positive than negative, I guess, because for the most part, they don't have have there been any crazy accidents with a Waymo? I don't think I've seen.
They've been driving on active construction sites and blocking.
No, but they haven't killed anybody yet. There has not been a Waymo casualty.
But that's our indicator of success. Has anyone died?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, let them run.
Buddy, why do you think the streets look the way that they do around here? Because some of these intersections are getting people killed in Nashville. Like, oh, all right, bike lane.
Tyler says on the FNM Bank chat that cops can now ticket Waymos in Nashville. Is that a thing?
They absolutely have to.
How does that work?
Oh, that's a great get out of DUI free card. Just get in the back seat and be like, I don't know what was happening. It's Waymo.
Officer, it's a Waymo. It's a Dodge Durango. It's not a Waymo.
No, sir, you had way more to drink than you should have had. Get in my car.
We do not encourage that behavior.
No, we don't.
How does it, if a Waymo sees police lights, they pull over, I guess?
I don't know.
And the cop just strolls up. Sir, do you know how fast you were going?
I guess you have to get
idea.
on because surely it's do you remember OnStar? I don't know if OnStar is still a thing, but you have somebody on a headset talking to you through the OnStar in your car. It's like a customer service type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I assume that's how the Waymo works.
The Waymo is like, stop sign. What stop sign?
What were the old GPSs called? Garmin's?
Garmin.
I wanted my graduation present from high school was a Garmin. So I could, because we didn't have all you kids out there. Why didn't you just use your phone? We didn't have that back in my day.
Somebody on the chat says, ha ha ha, can't wait to see the Waymo chase down the interstate like OJ and the Bronco. But it's not going fast. It's just kind of puttering along.
I was about to ask a question that I already know the answer to. What would be the funniest athlete that could be caught in a Waymo altercation, like the OJ Bronco? Because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, my God.
Aaron getting so much TV time talking about how we're replacing human jobs and he was trapped and out of his control. It would be incredible.
I would have said a Georgia football player.
It wasn't me.
It was it. I swear to God. Lucas, what's your Friday Fire?
Oh, man. My Friday Fire is the fact that World Cup ticket prices are starting to plummet. And there has been some sort of pushback to the just pure unfiltered greed that
Piracy
FIFA has displayed here. So, I mean, prices have just been ludicrous. You've heard me complain about it. I am just not going to be able to go to games that I want to go to because it's just out of control. According to ticket data analysis, this is from The Sun, the average price of a group stage ticket is at its lowest level since mid-January. Over the past 30 days, prices were at an average of $737 per ticket. That average cost of a ticket in the group stage now stands at $550 as of yesterday. SoFi Stadium is still not sold out, not even really close, for the United States opener against Paraguay on June 12th to open up their group stage matches. The problem is, I don't know that FIFA cares. I think FIFA would rather hit whatever their number is and have 20,000 open seats than have a sellout in an actual environment that we've seen in every World Cup in our lifetimes and maybe have that number be a little bit lower. But the fact that those prices are going down and the public is responding in some way is my Friday Fire.
Alcoholic cheese fans unite. Cheez-Its coming out with the collision of worlds that is going to have everyone on their toes. Cheez-Its and Coors Lights combine for a Cheez-It beer cheese flavor.
Oh, I want some Cheez-Its now.
Beer cheese is good.
I love Cheez-Its and I love beer cheese.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got the Coors Light. Like, if they just reached out to everyone and was like, hey, do you want your beer associated with it? Coors Light is not the beer I would associate with beer cheese, even though you're supposed to use crappy, cheap beers like Milwaukee or Steel Reserve or whatever. But speaking of that, have you guys ever had beer can chicken?
Yes, I brought it up the other day. It would have been on my master's menu, remember?
It's what my dad, I'm going home this week, and he asked me what I wanted, and I told him I would like a beer can chicken.
I'm telling you, it's the most redneck thing about me. I love beer can chicken. Have you ever made one, Lucas?
No.
It's delightful.
Let's take some calls.
615-737-1045 for the opportunity to win some Post Malone tickets. Let's start with Josh in White House.
Hey, how you guys doing? I got a couple things. A couple personal, couple...
Pick one. Pick one. Got to pick one.
All right. Well, here you go. I got a 8th grade daughter, graduated today. Got my senior son graduating high school today. Got my daughter that is turning 13 years old tomorrow. The Titans schedule got a game on my birthday, and the last Titans game is...
Said pick one.
It's on his dad's birthday.
I said pick one.
No, that was all birthday related.
I gave him very specific instructions. Pick one.
Unfortunately, I think I'm actually with Buck on this one.
Yeah, come on.
Just roll.
I'm very happy for your children's graduation. Next, John in Lebanon.
Yeah, hey guys. So my Friday Fire is actually also birthday related. My birthday is on Tuesday, and my fiance surprised me with reservations to Riverdance outside of Chattanooga.
Ooh.
The restaurant on the mountaintop, and then also a golf trip that I get to choose where and when anytime in the next year.
Lovely.
No, that's
very
wide
thoughtful.
range.
Very thoughtful.
Very cool. Happy
Does
birthday.
she have a sister? Wow.
You are engaged.
I got some socks.
You are engaged.
I got socks and a Ravens
Oh, we're
hoodie.
looking for a sugar mama.
Chris is in Murfreesboro. He's already got one.
What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Hey, so the Cannon County High School girls softball team is my daughter is a senior on, plays for the
District 6 2A sub-state game tonight. They won their regional tournament the other day. It's the first time they've ever done that.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, congratulations to your daughter, and best of luck.
Go get the ship.
Okay. One more for Ryan in Nashville.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yo.
My daughter, well, I'll start off. My pops was a jerk to me growing up. He got me nothing for graduation. When I graduated, she'll be graduating Tuesday. He sent her a care package with $500 in it. And that forced me to make amends with him to say, hey, you didn't do it for me, do it for her. The grandkids get treated better anyway, you know?
Hell yeah. I love that.
Good.
Ryan's the winner. Ryan's going to Post Malone. Well
that's really
done.
good.
Well done. I
love that.
Guilting your penny pinching dad into doing right by your daughter is well done.
But more importantly, making amends. Great stuff.
Hey, Ryan, would you take your dad to the Post Malone concert or your daughter?
That would be a negative. It'll be the girl.
Yeah.
That's right. She'll love it.
Well done by Ryan. Okay, Robert will get in touch with you. We will continue the show with more Titans schedule reaction coming up next.
It is 12:02. Good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. The 2026 schedule is out for the Tennessee Titans for the second consecutive season. No primetime games. They will open up with the Jets in week 1, the Eagles at home in week 2, before hitting the road for the first time in week 3 to the Giants, the Ravens on the road in week 4. Week 9 is the bye week, the last game at the current Nissan Stadium in the regular season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is happening in week 17, 1 week before the Titans close things out at the Texans. Stanley Cup playoffs, the Canadians outscored the Sabres 6-3. They take a 3-2 series lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals. In the West, the Golden Knights routed the Ducks 5-1, taking Game 6 and the series. They move on to the Western Conference Finals, where they will take on Colorado. NBA playoffs tonight, Pistons and Cavs tip off at 6 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Cleveland leads at 3-2. In the West, the Spurs and Timberwolves tip off at 8:30. San Antonio can close out the series with a win. Nashville Soccer Club returns to Geodis Park Sunday night to host LAFC. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage on the Zone starts at 6:30. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
The final hour is upon us here on this Friday. Beautiful Friday that it is in Middle Tennessee. The Titans' schedule is out, and I have a question for you. If you had to pick a single game on the Titans' schedule that is the best game on the schedule, and by best, I leave that as wide open as humanly possible. Best can be the best opponent. Best can be the best time of year. Best can be because you like playing noon games. God knows you have all of them but 2, right? And the other 2 are 3:05. Kicks against the Raiders and the Jags later in the season. What is the best game as you define best on the Titans schedule this year? 615-737-1045 is the number. You can also chime in the F&M Bank chat. Robert, I'm assuming you're just going to pick the Ravens game because you and me are going to be in Baltimore. And am I going to go to this tailgate with you? I don't really have that many pregame obligations on road games.
Do you want to pay to go?
No.
And double fist tequila sodas with me? Double fist tequila sodas.
I would like to have a tequila soda before work, but
with double lime. It's the way to do it.
No, I'm on an orange slice kick now. Orange slice with my tequila soda.
Oh, and you're not a beer guy, so you don't have a Blue Moon with it?
I'm telling you, though, I don't know what it is about the weather lately, but I've been dying for a cold beer. Like, I don't drink beer, but like a Blue Moon or a Yazoo. I love the Hefeweizen Yazoo beer, those lighter summer beers.
God bless you.
I said it right, didn't I?
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong cat.
I took a swing.
You didn't put the gusto on it, the German gusto. You have to sound much angrier.
I mean, that's not usually a hard thing for me.
Back to thinking about the Jets beating the Titans week 1 and then say it.
Ross was right. Ross was in my ear talking about neck veins popping out while I was talking about that. I saw a clip of that, I had bulging neck veins. Anyway, so Robert would pick the Ravens game because he's a Ravens fan and he's going to be there and we're going to have a great time. Lucas, do you have a favorite game on the Titans schedule?
Week 17, Steelers. Last game at Nissan Stadium.
Yeah, that's the right one.
I am genuinely fascinated.
You're going to go as a fan?
At what? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what my fall will look like.
Okay,
but
sure.
What Aaron Rodgers, that whole situation will be.
Assuming he's there.
What the Titans do to honor, the teams that came before them. That's a sad thing. I've told you guys, I have not been inside of Nissan Stadium very often. My Titans radio duties for the last couple of years have kept me as the game day host here at Network Control and Studio.
Locked you in a closet.
So I have not been to a Titans game at Nissan Stadium since the finale of since the last game of the Vrabel era of the 2023 season.
Oh, that Jags game.
But I've been to Nissan, obviously, and for concerts and things like that. And, I walk around. I was there for the AC/DC concert last year, just kind of looking around at all the big blown up pictures of Steve McNair at Toy Field and whenever we go to Nissan Stadium, and I kind of get sad because I grew up going to that stadium, and it's kind of crazy that it's just going to be gone and razed off the face of the earth. So that's going to be an emotional thing, I think, for a lot of people. That last game, January 3rd, 2027 at Nissan Stadium, that's the one I have circled the most. Not even so much because of the opponent, but there is the element of Aaron Rodgers potentially going up against Robert Saleh.
I think you should go to Baltimore with me. That way I can kick Cheyenne off, and it would just be me and you.
I would not go if you kicked Cheyenne off for me.
But if
She deserves better.
Okay, if I keep Cheyenne...
And Cheyenne actually likes going to Ravens games. You really do not deserve this woman.
She gets more into it than... that's not true. Not more into it than I am. But she's happy to tag along. She digs it. She knows the players. Knows when to console me.
I don't think that's hard. I think we all know when you're going through it.
She is, let's be clear, a saint.
Yes.
Around Robert.
Yes.
In his lowest Ravens fanhood moments.
All she does is make sure that the water in my sad bath is full and my ashtray is emptied so I can just smoke cigarette after cigarette. She keeps the air filter in the room so I don't permeate my smoke through the whole house.
And she's kind to you.
Yes. I want to make sure you're clear on this. That is more than you deserve. Just those three things alone.
I'm a good man. I'm a good man. I deserve good things.
So for you, it's the sentimental fact of the final day, the final game at the old Nissan Stadium. And I do appreciate that in terms of, because I will say, there is sentimental value even for me at the old Nissan Stadium. I have seen a lot of great games at the old Nissan Stadium.
I feel like the sentimentality has been lost in the shuffle a little bit as we get into the new Titans and the new logo, and that's great. New stadium, new uniform, and things change.
Yeah, but that's on the marketing people for the Titans. They keep trying to, and I'm not down on this entirely, and it's not like something that I'd lose my mind about, but they just keep at every turn trying to shove new Titans stuff down people's throats, and it does lose. It loses the people who are here, who have been here, who have cared about the thing that is still being played in the old stadium. It to me, it feels like they have discounted the old for the sake of the new. And I understand why that is. And you're upselling, and you've got tickets that you got to sell. And I'm not like mad at them or I'm about it, but I do feel like that there's this overwhelming sense like, no, new Titans, we're the new Titans. See, new logo. We don't do that anymore. But it's still the same team. No, it's not. There's so many things that are different about the way that they've gone about this that have kind of, that would irritate me if I was a longtime Titans fan being like, no, I still matter. The team that I grew up watching matters to me, even if you are trying to move into this new era as quickly as you can, because it makes things feel less bad to have a bright, shiny new stadium and uniforms and stuff like that.
It's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the business.
Sure.
It's also the nature of the city of Nashville, right? Like it is also, it kind of encapsulates what Nashville has been as a city. Nashville is unrecognizable as a city for people that grew up here and lived here in the 90s and so on.
Buddy, 10 years ago, I moved here. It looks different.
Yeah. So I do understand that part of it, but I do think that will be a moment against the Steelers where we can really appreciate the history of the Tennessee Titans that arrived here in the late 90s and built out a generation of fans here in Middle Tennessee. I think that will be a good moment to appreciate that.
That may be I'd probably go out of my way too much to tell people that I'm not rooting for or against their team, just trying to, cover the team. But I do want them to be good enough by the time we get to that game, because I don't want to see like people not show up. And maybe there will just be, I don't know, you probably have a better gauge for this than I would. I don't want to see it empty. You know what I'm saying? For the last game, like if they suck again this year.
I don't see it being empty for the last game. I think the last game will be an event for Titans fans.
I really hope so.
I mean, I'm totally naive in saying this. I think the Titans could be awful. If the Titans have 2-3 wins by week 17, I still think that place is packed for the last game at Nissan Stadium. I do. I might be completely naive to say, but
bring your screwdrivers. They're going to let you take the seats with you.
Yeah. Did you see I saw somebody say they were selling, I can't remember which stadium that was being torn down that they're selling seats to or renovating, but it's going like for $400 a pop for the seats.
It's the Steelers.
Is it the Steelers?
I believe it's the Steelers. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, it's and they're autographed by players too. I think that's probably where the worth actually comes from. But yeah.
And like the full circle of it being against an original AFC Central opponent too in Pittsburgh kind of puts a good, I don't know if the NFL did that on purpose.
I'm sure not.
It's a happy accident.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did. I wouldn't think so, but I could be wrong.
Who's the CBS broadcast team going to be for the last game ever
It's
at Nissan?
It's got to be Spirodides and Adam Archuleta, right? You got it. What do you mean, no?
Yeah, the time-honored tradition.
Listen, I think you would take Spirodides' career, future play-by-play guy, or I guess current play-by-play guy. Like, Spirodides not doing too bad for himself.
No, Spirodides has had a great career. I'm just saying.
Walk it back now, the disgust on your face.
When I thought about potential primetime games, in my mind, I thought about Robert Saleh versus the Jets. That clearly isn't happening.
No.
And I thought about the last ever game at that stadium, and that's a noon kickoff as well.
I just don't think the NFL cares about it the way that, and obviously they're not going to care about it the way that Titans fans care about it. That has an outsized level of emotional connection, and the league's just like, yeah, our partners don't want you on TV, so we're not going to pay to put you on TV. I struggled with this question for a while because I don't know if Derrick Henry was coming to Nashville, that would have been my pick, but he's not. So I do think that takes a little bit of the juice out of that particular game. I'm probably going to say I don't really have a favorite game on this schedule. Like it's not a bad schedule or anything like that, but there's nothing that jumps off because again, I don't want to take yours because my answer probably would be that just because I also have emotional connections to Nissan Stadium, and I've been there my entire career. It's been awesome to do that for a living. So if it's not Pittsburgh, I don't think I have another one. I mean, there's not like an opponent that jumps off the screen to me here. I'm not moved by the Dable Saleh thing, I guess. Like that doesn't really do it for me. I'm not Amy Adams Strunk, so I don't have an outsized level of care about the Texans here.
You mean Cohen? You said Dable on the Jags?
Giants.
Oh, okay. I thought you were making the larger.
Oh, no, I don't care about the Liam Cohen thing.
That's why I thought you were talking about that because nobody cares about it.
Yeah, I mean,
or they don't care about it.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a best one other than Pittsburgh. I'd probably take yours if I was picking one.
Oh, wow. Talking about Pittsburgh, look at this blockbuster trade. The Pittsburgh Zoo has agreed to trade 7-year-old male gorilla Frankie to Boston in exchange for 33-year-old silverback gorilla Little Joe. Both trades are designed to provide a healthy, genetic, diverse population of critical endangered gorillas in human care. So what do we take away from this? Obviously, Boston digging into the rebuild, taking the younger guy, doesn't really have the skill set that Little Joe has, and then Pittsburgh getting Little Joe, the legend. Pittsburgh obviously all in now. Wonder how this shakes out come playoff time, but you do not see blockbuster trades like this in the offseason. I think this pays dividends for Pittsburgh, but also puts Boston in a new light. We can get into what you guys think coming up next.
You cannot keep doing this. You can't keep doing this.
You didn't like that?
This is not okay.
Are you not surprised by this? I thought Little Joe would retire a Pittsburgh Zoo member. I did not think that he would be on the move. New city, Boston. How's Boston media going to treat Little Joe? This is ridiculous. If you're unaware of this story, I just retweeted it from my Twitter account.
Why did Jimmy Seafood just tweet me?
No, because I'm working angles. Ooh,
using me?
No, not using you.
Why am I in it?
Because all right, here's what happened. If you really want to know, if we have bigger things to talk about, this gigantic trade in the animal world just happened.
Who reported it?
This is by Bleacher Report.
Okay.
Bleacher Report was reporting that. But you put out, what is the best part of the Titans schedule? Somewhat John Feely tweeted and said, invading at Robbie Walsh's tailgate party to take some shot with him in Baltimore. I tagged Jimmy Seafood and said, already pumping up the tailgate here in Nashville. He said, can't wait to host y'all at the tailgate.
Okay, got it.
Tailgate?
That's
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, like the GOAT, the greatest tailgate.
Gotcha.
I've been doing it for like 3. It's incredible.
Now the people are responding to this. The F&M Bank chat, Dixie says, how does this affect Harambe's legacy? Nebraska Matt says, Little Joe is a day one difference maker.
Well, his father, Big Joe, is the one who kind of started the whole thing.
It's not Big Joe.
What?
It's Mighty Joe. Mighty Joe Young.
Mighty Joe Young is his grandfather.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is all just public, no knowledge?
You can't
You don't know you never saw Mighty Joe Young, the movie?
No.
It's like a King Kong-sized gorilla that is like treated as like a circus attraction or something like that. They finally release it into the wild. It's a whole thing.
You've never seen Mighty Joe Young?
It's
No.
like literally like Free Willy.
You look at the poster.
I feel like I would love that. I love gorillas.
It's like like Free Willy, but for a giant gorilla.
What's it called?
Mighty Joe Young.
Oh, dude,
who was the one who started this whole gorilla ball thing?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron, Bill Paxton, Regina. Dude,
it's got a good cast. It was a big movie. I feel like in my childhood.
Never
What was the
heard
year?
of this?
What was the year?
98.
Yeah, you would have been cognizant for that.
I gotta watch this.
I honestly think if you went home today and watched Mighty Joe Young, you would be delighted.
It's a good movie.
I have seen it.
It just makes you want a giant monkey.
It's
like
a
it makes you
remake.
want a gorilla.
1949, the original. Yeah, well, I've always wanted a monkey, and Megan just shoots me down every time.
What's the one that you want? You want a capuchin?
I want a little capuchin. Yeah, just hang out on your shoulder, go and get you stuff.
Until you get some kind of disease that you can only contract from monkey feces.
No. Do you know who would be a great monkey father? Kirby. If Kirby had a capuchin monkey that like helped him, he's like, go get me the orange ties off my bag. Like he helped Kirby engineer. You could charge more if Kirby had a little monkey.
Name it Marcel, like the monkey in Friends.
Oh, I forgot about Marcel.
Ross's monkey.
We gotta get Kirby a monkey.
No, Kirby just got a dog. The dog will eat the monkey.
No, that's not. They would be friends. What do you mean? Dogs don't eat monkeys. Come on.
Michael Jackson.
Dogs eat their own poop. What do you mean they don't eat monkeys?
He wouldn't eat a monkey. They would be friends. They would be best friends.
They'd be friends.
It would be like Curious George. Didn't Curious George have a dog friend? Clifford, aren't they friends?
I think that's two different universes.
Yeah, you've just
they live in the same.
You've just Marvel Ultimate Universe to like
PBS kids shows.
Yeah.
they live in the same.
running around somewhere in there.
They live in the same hellscape where animals can talk and are like giant, like whatever world that is.
Michael Jackson had a pet chimpanzee.
Bubbles?
Yeah,
or
that's
Blanket?
a model citizen.
Blanket was a human. I think the chimp was Bubbles.
Blanket is not just a human. Not just his human, his son.
Yes.
He is human.
Not just his human, his son. Yes.
This is my let's
well,
normalize.
famously, he also had humans, but there's some problematic stuff there.
Let's normalize introducing your kids as humans. These are my humans.
Which is absolutely how I would introduce my kids if I was ever to have kids.
Was Blanket the one that he dangled?
Yes.
Okay.
He wasn't dangling. He was just Mufasaing him or Rafikiing him.
My mom has a story about this. The first maid that they had in Egypt when they were living overseas held me out the window to show the gardener, and my mom fired the maid, like Blanket style. Traumatizing experience.
Hold on.
Still
Hold on.
heights.
Everybody hold on.
Still afraid of heights.
that maid's livelihood just gone.
Yeah, maybe don't put a baby out the window. I feel like that's not a good idea.
Apple doesn't fall
You
far
needed
from the
some-
tree, it sounds like.
Yep.
Needed some fresh air.
How'd that work out?
Excited to break down this. I'm glad this happened during the show.
Yes.
Usually breaking news like this doesn't happen for us.
Why the Titans aren't on primetime next? Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Best hot chicken in the world. 615-737-1045 is the number. We have breaking Titans news. You want to play the Laser Light Show? We have breaking Titans news.
No, it's okay.
What do you mean?
Just read it.
Why not?
It's
a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. I agree with you.
So I feel like we should treat it like a big deal. Give me the lasers.
There's an issue with the board. I can't do it right now.
That's what Lucas would tell me every time he didn't want to do something.
I'm working on. I'm trying to fix it. I'm sorry. Just start and I'll get it up.
I don't like what you're about to do to me. But the news. Ramon Foster.
Breaking Titans news on 104.5 The Zone.
Ramon Foster is going to replace. I don't want to. You know what? I don't like the way that I just phrased that. He's not going to replace Coach Dave McGinnis. Ramon Foster is going to step in to the role of Titans Radio color analyst with Titans Radio again after doing the sideline duties to succeed Coach Dave McGinnis, who obviously we lost far too soon earlier this year. So Ramon is going to no longer be on the Vol Network, but he will be on Titans Radio.
Reportedly by Paul Kaharski.
Well, didn't you just talk to Ramon? What are we doing here? What do we know? What am I allowed to say?
Go off the reporting that's available to the public.
Okay, thank you. So Kaharski did break this, and Ramon is going to join Taylor Zarzer, who's doing the Titans radio games now, since Mike Keith left, as the color analyst. Best option by a mile, right?
He's going to kill it.
And I'm not like biased. Like, I don't know, because I know Keith Bullock expressed an interest in that on his Bullseye View show. And I don't know. I don't. Has Keith ever done color? I think didn't he do TSU games or something like that?
Yeah, he had done TSU games.
Okay.
I think he maybe has done preseason games. I could be wrong, but no, Ramon's going to kill this. I mean, Ramon has been a part of the Titans radio crew, obviously, before with Mike Keith and Coach Mack as the sideline reporter, essentially served as an analyst from the sideline. So in one way, Ramon has served in an analyst role for Titans radio, and he crushed it next to Mike Keith in the Vol Network booth last year. Ramon's been a pillar of the Nashville and Titans media community now for, it's going on 6 years since Ramon, 7 years since Ramon retired from the NFL and he's been on the radio here.
He's going to be rooting for the Steelers, though, week 17. I didn't think about that, though. Conflict of interest?
I wouldn't say that, but he's going to crush this. He's going to knock it out of the park.
It's going to be okay. Dramatic. What?
Kind of sucks. You're like stealing his thunder. Like, I don't like that part of it.
What do you mean?
Like, he doesn't get to announce his own news. They don't get to announce their own news. It gets kind of like snaked out from underneath them.
He's a football player. He knows that's not how news works.
Well, I'm not talking about it from his point. I'm talking about it from me, feeling bad for him. He doesn't get to announce his own news. He gets snaked. I assume they were going to do this soon if it's words leaking out behind it now. And you can feel that way because you're in the media too. But from a personal view, I don't like it. But it is what it is.
Well, I'm sure he appreciates your sentiment that way, but like whatever, it's news. Like it's out there and he's going to do it. So I'm sure he's excited about the opportunity. Like Lucas said, I got to hear him and Mike do, I think, 2 games last year on the radio, driving around, and I know that they enjoyed that a great deal, and I'm sure Ramon will look forward to getting back in the habit of doing Titans radio after doing the Vol Network last year. So I'm sure he will touch on that tomorrow, and that'll be a great time had by all.
Well, tomorrow's a Saturday, so.
Oh, sure. Well, Monday. Yeah. Anything else that we have to add to that? There's nothing else that, like, Titans radio adjacent. We really haven't, obviously. I don't know. It felt weird to talk about, like, who's going to replace Coach Mack after Mack passed. I didn't want to, because I know that has been popular fan theory and like the subject of Reddit debate and stuff like that. But I didn't really feel comfortable like, okay, let's do our candidate hot board to replace Coach Mack on Titans radio. I didn't really like that.
No, of course. I mean,
that approach.
Two-Tone Blue is asking for chaos. Yes, I was rooting for Pac-Man. That would have been the best choice. Yeah, until Pac-Man gets in a fight in the mall somewhere and gets arrested. Like
that would definitely be chaos. No, Titans haven't announced it. Ramon hasn't announced it, but
PK's reporting it.
PK's reporting it. Ramon, consummate pro, crushed it with Mike last year, and will crush it in any role.
So I'll just read directly from, and obviously we've since confirmed that. So read directly from paulkaharski.com. Ramon Foster is the Titans' choice to replace Dave McGinnis as color analyst for Titans Radio. Multiple sources say. Foster co-hosts Ramon and Will, obviously, that you know, here on 104.5 The Zone.
Which doesn't mean that has to end, by the way. I think, that the chat's kind of saying, like, oh, we're going to lose him. Like, no.
What are you talking about?
It does not mean Ramon has to stop doing morning radio on The Zone.
Why would he stop doing morning radio?
Well, I'm just saying. The chat was saying, oh, we're going to lose him on the station. It doesn't mean that at all.
Yeah, it didn't mean it when he went to do the Vols Network.
Yeah.
He was doing Titans Radio 2 years ago, wasn't he? Like, it's dramatic. Okay, so co-host Ramon and Will, sideline reporter for the team's broadcast before joining the Vols broadcast, native of Ripley, Tennessee. Zone announced in December 2025, signed a multi-year contract extension for the morning show. And, okay, very good. Paul says, and I to be honest, I really didn't pay any attention to who they were considering. I mean, we had maybe talked about it off air at some point. But they said in selecting the familiar Foster, the Titans bypassed several candidates who played for their franchise, including Keith Bullock, who expressed an interest in the job on his show, Jason McCourty, who does some games for CBS, and Brad Hopkins, who appears on Sirius XM. Do Titans fans care that Ramon didn't play for them? I mean, he's from Tennessee. He played for the Vols. Is that like a huge thing? I don't know.
I've never heard that voiced through the YouTube, the phones, in person.
Was that a thing when he was doing sidelines?
No.
Again,
that would be a construct of something outside of fan purview. I've literally never heard that opinion.
It's phrased in a way here in the final graph in selecting the familiar.
Of course it is. Like, are you wondering why it's phrased that way? Like, it's not.
No,
it's not,
I mean, if it's a fair question, I don't know if it's an unfair question. I don't think that's unfair at all. Like, should Titans Radio have a former Titans player on it? I think in theory that makes sense. I don't think there's anything. Are you attributing something more malicious to that?
No, I'm not attributing anything to anything. Okay. I'm just saying it's very on par.
Well, I think that's a completely fair question.
Moan's from West Tennessee. He's played football in East Tennessee, and he's been a piece of the Middle Tennessee sports community for years at this point. Ramon's a great choice for this role, and he's going to crush it. And again, he's literally been on the Titans radio team. I can't wait. Can't wait to hear Ramon.
Yeah, he'll do a great job. He did a great job with Titans radio a couple of years ago. I like former players doing sidelines. I think that's a cool element of it. I like that they did that with Ramon when they did. It gave, at least as a listener, a different perspective of how a player sees a game. In fact, Is Cole Kubelik the only one doing that? I'm sure there are other former athletes doing sidelines for football games that way other than Cole Kubelik. I just really appreciate the offensive linemen because, that's where they can really shine. When you're seeing trench discussion, you're getting that feedback from a player who actually knows how to watch a game from the sideline.
Yeah, no, Ramon was awesome in that role because, to your point, Kubelik is really the most notable on TV that we see do it, but to be purely an analyst from the sideline is a really unique thing that Mike Keith kind of instituted in Titans radio, and Ramon was fantastic in it. Like that bite size, like the skill that it takes to do sidelines, period, effectively, is something that gets taken for granted, right? To have bite-sized reporting or perspective from down on the field, especially on radio, to get out before the ball is snapped, to give the play-by-play a chance to set the scene and make sure the audience is hearing everything they need to hear. And so for Ramon to take that when he was on sidelines and not just, hey, so-and-so is questionable to return with an ankle or whatever, but to actually give that bite-sized analysis from on the field and do it in a timely, concise manner was extremely impressive for someone who had not done sidelines before. So with the proof of concept we have of him as an analyst in the Vol Network booth, this is going to be seamless, man. I mean, he's going to crush this.
Well, it's not long ago he was calling high school football games with you and Will, right? Like a couple seasons ago. Yeah. The dude has come a long way.
Rags to riches definition.
Oh, yeah. You kidding me? No, it's a great choice by the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you could do a lot worse. There's a comment here in the F&M Bank chat says, Ramon is great for the Vols, and obviously you guys can bring up these comments with him on Monday. Ramon is great for the Vols. That job fits. Titans, I don't know, man. If Jason McCourty was interested and they passed on him for Ramon, that's shocking to me. I don't know that you don't know that Jason McCourty was interested. Right? You don't even know that they talked to McCourty, right? I mean, it's not.
Yeah. No idea the pretenses.
In the reporting, it's not. There's nothing. But I do in principle understand if an NFL fan base was like, yes, I would like to hear from a former player from my franchise, but you could do a hell of a lot worse than Ramon. He's going to do a great job. All right. Last call for phone call. Well, should we do last call for phone calls?
Nah, you can call in. We'll get you in.
I don't really want to shoehorn, what we were going to talk about here into the last 3 minutes of the segment. Do you have anything NSC to bring up?
I am headed to their facility right now as they are hosting LAFC Sunday night. Big game. Nashville still top of the East.
So you just give me your afternoon Zoom plans with BJ Callahan.
Yeah, well, we're going in person today. No, yeah, they face LA, who is a contender in MLS, has dropped off a little bit recently, but only 2 games left before the World Cup break, so it's full steam ahead until through next Saturday, where MLS will be off for almost 2 months. So Nashville's trying to finish strong. They've dealt with injury blow after injury blow and trying to pick up some results, but that'll be fun. Under the lights on Sunday. We'll be on the air at 6:30 on the Zone Sunday night.
615-737-1045 is the number. If you want to react to the Titans radio news, you can do that. Or anything schedule related, and we can do the primetime discussion on Monday, perhaps. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. All right, let's put a bow on this thing for the week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Lucas did have to run to the soccer team's practice facility. He's got a production meeting with BJ Callahan. I suppose that means he's on the call of the game this weekend. So you can go check that out. Nashville SC looking to, they're just dealing with a lot of injuries right now as they've had such a great season to date, but trying to stave off those setbacks here the last couple of weeks. The news that just came out, courtesy of Paul Kaharski, is that Ramon Foster is going to assume the Titans radio analyst role this coming season. So I don't know if that's, and again, Ramon is going to address this at whatever point, if he wants to do it on social media, if he wants to wait till the radio show. When they get back in here on Monday, however he wants to address it, I'm sure he'll do what he wants to. But I don't know if that's, I haven't talked to him, haven't had a chance to hear doing the radio show in the middle of all this, but I don't know if that's a long-term thing, if that's like going to be the tandem moving forward, him and Taylor Zarzer and what all that looks like. I just know Titans Radio undergone a ton of change here in the last couple of years, and there's always pushback when there's change with anything that's been an institution, and Titans Radio has been an institution. But I know Ramon, and he's a broadcast professional, and I think he's going to do a great job.
We have even bigger news.
What do we have? Another gorilla trade?
No, not a gorilla trade. The animal trades have ceased. I believe the trade deadline has passed. I'm surprised they got that in before the deadline. Are you aware of the MLB spaghetti policy?
You have been waiting.
I have been trying to. I told Lucas on Monday, I was like, this is a 20. I could go for 20 minutes on this. Very
cede the floor to you.
So spaghetti policy. If you're unaware, a group of fans brought I believe it was Brewers fans at a Milwaukee Brewers game, brought a gallon Ziploc baggie full of spaghetti. You didn't want to go to concessions. They wanted some good spaghetti. Since then, Sickos Committee on Twitter, if you're unfamiliar, great follow. They find all the stories like this. They put this out. The MLB spaghetti policy. Teams that will allow you to bring in a gallon Ziploc bag of spaghetti to a game. They're also adding the Phillies to this. So this is 6, 10, 11. There's like half of the league will allow you to bring in a bag of spaghetti. Now, I don't really want to talk about baseball. I want to talk about sports as a whole. What is the best food you could bring from home to a sporting event? So now you have to find the food. You have to find the sporting event. What is the best cross-section of homemade food at a professional sport outing? Or it could be college.
And not even that. You have to find the proper receptacle to transport the food in, right? Because the spaghetti is a plastic bag. I've seen people like is it Elf, where he puts the spaghetti in the plastic bag and he puts the maple syrup in it and shakes it up? Or am I thinking of something different?
I can't remember if it's a plastic bag or not, but it would abide by most professional leagues' clear bag policy. So I wonder if you would have to submit the spaghetti through a metal detector because it is quite viscous, right? You could hide something in there hypothetically. Viscous. So they would have to put it through the metal detector, which is why I think spaghetti is not the optimal food to bring from home. It's messy. You need utensils. That's why because
you can't transport utensils into a stadium, right? I feel like they're going to stop you if you have a plastic knife.
Yeah, you could go get them from concessions though, but that's a stop you would have to make. So that's why I think handheld foods would be the best. I would submit corn dogs. Corn dogs as the perfect, because you can stop at a gas station and just be like, hey, load me up, give me 20 corn dogs. And that way you don't really have to worry. Oh, dude, we're getting some great submissions.
Why do you need 20?
Oh, I mean, dude gets hungry. Sometimes you get hungry during the game.
I've seen you pregame a lovely meal with a corn dog from a gas station that I wouldn't let you eat in my car.
We have some submissions in the F&M Bank chat. Simple Circuit says meat and 3. I don't know if you can bring in a styrofoam to-go container into games. See, I feel like it would have to apply to the clear bag policy.
Rule.
Yes. Homemade pizza rolls. Excellent submission. Doesn't require anything. You can kind of eat them warm-ish. I think you could eat them cold. Pizza cold would be good. Pizza is probably a great submission. We also have the pizza stick at Dodge's.
But don't you want to bring something in that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get? You can get pizza and corn dogs at a sporting event. Like that's the traditional fare at a sporting event, right? Or anything like this. I feel like you would want something that, like, I mean, would you risk it with sushi? Would you bring sushi in a clear bag to have in between innings at a baseball game, or as at halftime of a football game, you're going to risk that your sushi is going to make it halfway through? I would want something that I would not otherwise be able to get in the confines of a stadium. Pizza and corn dogs are both easily attainable.
Yeah, you're right. I would probably go oyster to Rockefeller. I think that would keep pretty well. We've got Anthony in Nashville who has a submission for us. Anthony, what you got?
Man, the Cincinnati Reds Stadium. You can bring a cooler in, and you can put whatever you want to in it. We had drinks, had prosciutto roll-ups, shrimp cocktail. Get the little St. Elmo cocktail sauce from Kroger's.
What?
Wait, now, just hang with me here for a second. What is the security protocol for, like, cooler clearance? Because that can't be common.
Yeah, they just look at it as long as you don't have any alcoholic drinks. I have a son who has celiac disease, so it's hard for him to have, like, snacks and stuff. So we carry in his own food, and it's all right there.
Well, that's
you can
nice.
Bring in just like a 6-pack cooler. You know what I'm talking about? Like those small ones, or
like
even
one of those little lunchbox coolers type of situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had like an oversized soft side cooler that we took in and carried in all of our little diet drinks and his food. Like I said, we had the big Costco big shrimp cocktail with a little St. Elmo little dipping sauce, little cocktail sauce. Fantastic.
Delightful. Thank you for the submission.
That sounds incredible.
So like a little like soft shell cooler type of situation. And that's nice that they let people accommodate, celiac disease. I'm not familiar with it, but I assume there's other different genetic situations where you have to accommodate people's different eating tendencies, food allergies, these type of things.
I believe celiac is not being able to digest gluten. And it causes you to have an upset stomach. I think that's part of it. I think if you had to pair a food with an arena or a stadium, I think it would be buffalo wings in Buffalo in a clear bag. Because you can, I don't know about you guys, but I can eat wings cold. That's not a big deal for me.
Oh, yeah, no.
I could destroy. I mean, I almost think it's easier. Like you don't have the barrier of entry of heat preventing you from really getting into the bone side meat. So I'd go wings in Buffalo if I had to pick a food and a place.
I don't know if they serve buffalo wings, I'm sure, in the concourse.
You would think they would have to. Or Magic City wings at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, because Mercedes-Benz Stadium is filled with Chick-fil-A's that aren't open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Which is always one of the more ridiculous parts of it. Matt in Brentwood next.
All right, so I'm thinking for a cold football game, like gumbo would be super clutch.
Gumbo?
But wings would definitely be, or I mean any soup really, but gumbo would be, what I'm thinking. And then wings would definitely be an honorable mention.
Thanks for the call, man.
I'm not even going to ask you what the hell you thought that was.
Thought he said gumbo. I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
Man.
It's got very pornographic very fast.
Oh, jeez. Gumbo would be ridiculously hard, though. Like, would you just have, boba straws?
Same problem as spaghetti, right? Like, you're taking it in a plastic bag.
I guess, but gumbo is like liquid. Like, what if the bag burst? Or, you're just going to carry in two Ziploc bags of gumbo.
Somebody said biscuits and gravy.
It's closer to what you thought that guy talked about, I guess. Biscuits and gravy. Would that get soggy? Would you have one bag of biscuits and one bag of gravy?
Biscuits in the one bag and the gravy in the other bag.
Cold gravy,
How do you keep
though?
it hot, though?
Yeah. Would you have to strap? I feel like you'd have to put the biscuits and gravy strapped to, your chest so it could be warm from your body heat.
Dixie on YouTube says you would have to triple bag the gumbo.
Have to. It would have to be in a garbage bag.
It's heavy, right? It's heavy.
If they allowed you to do this at Ravens games or ECU games, I would look like the daggum Grinch. I would be going in there with the roast beast. I'd be going in there with everything they'd let me through that thing with. Now, if they really want to do it, make every sporting event BYOB. Or BYOA. Bring your own alcohol.
Strip clubs.
Yes. I need to go to Mouse's Ear.
I haven't been to Deja Vu in a long time, but the last time I went, it was BYOB. Let's do some quick polls if we're good. Yeah.
Definitely not the
A
quickest.
little delayed.
The polls brought to you by the most trusted dealer in all of the South, Two Rivers Ford. What's the best part of the Titans schedule in 2026? John Feely said, invading my tailgate to take some shots with me in Baltimore. I'll see you there, John. And Mary Claire saying a bye in the middle of the season, which is probably the biggest football reason to be excited about this schedule.
Yeah, just a break. Just a mid-season straight-up break. Not a ton of travel associated with the Titans schedule. That would probably be the logistics of the Titans schedule are fine.
What was the worst part of the Titans schedule in 2026? Kenneth saying the second half of the season in general is worse, starting at Cincinnati. Only the Raiders likely the easier one. First half has Jets, Giants, Browns, and a hobbly Daniel Jones. Taylor says wild card weekend, where I guess he's assuming that the Titans would not be participating. I'm not sure what he would he's alluding to.
The worst part of the Titans schedule. I don't really have a worst part. It's fine. I like a midweek bye or a midseason bye. I hate when they did the week 5. That was the worst, especially because they were just so god awful and we had to raw dog our way through 14 weeks of terrible Titans football.
Speaking of Two Rivers Ford, wanted to remind you guys they have the Blue and You going on this weekend.
Indeed.
Saturday, May 16th, it will be from 9 to 11 a.m. at Two Rivers Ford, 76 Belinda Parkway in Mount Juliet. You can see the officers, see the inside of a police car, free food and door prizes. Go out there and check them out in Mount Juliet. Fair or foul, back-to-back seasons with no primetime games, and even split. 50% of the audience say it is fair. 50% of the audience say it is foul.
I think that's an expected response. I think it's fair that they don't have primetime games. They're not any good, and they don't have any stars other than Jeff. And Jeff's an interior defensive lineman, and that does not make enough of a difference for Amazon Prime, who's paying $80 million a year to broadcast Thursday Night Football. See you Sunday.